pack for CC 111, Introduction to Computing. This will be followed by another sample course pack for Ed 3110. This is Building and Enhancing New Literacies Across Curriculum, to be presented by Dr. Fitzgerald Quintanar from the College of Teacher Education of CTU Argao Campus. Dr. Christine Joy Tomol is the ICT chair of CTU Argao Campus also. We have been given Dr. Binoliro's presentation earlier to give way to, at the time we were able to save because we are still waiting for the university president to join us in this in today's session. So anytime within the afternoon, we will have Dr. Ancheta, as mentioned earlier by Dr. Pilapil also. Then after which we are going to proceed to a sample course pack for JEC PC. This is Purposive Communication, to be given to us by the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences of CTU Argao Campus, Dr. Luisel Tiofi Cabico. The sample course packs are introduced to us because these presenters have attended an instructional materials production in Boracay, I think, and they are now doing their echo and following our suggested format by our VPAA. They are doing this presentation to give all of us an idea of what we are to do in the next in the coming days prior to our presentation of our very own course packs designed for the subjects that we are, the courses that we are going to teach starting September 1, 2020 to open academic year 2020-2021. So when everyone has presented, we would like to encourage everybody joining to raise their questions, clarifications, maybe suggestions via an open forum to be facilitated by the research chair of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Sanli Gador, and bringing down to 4:16 after a 15-minute open forum, we will be going to the presentation of workshop mechanics for breakout sessions and synthesis by Dr. Solada, a closing prayer by Dr. Jimena. So this is our program for the afternoon and the remaining days until our presentation days on the 18th to the 20th, on August 26th to August 29th. Presentation of outputs by cluster, which will be announced on today, August 17th. Okay, so that's our program for the afternoon. Are we ready with the presenters? We are waiting for Ma'am Joy Tomo to say your presence. So I would like to ask our team from the Odilo to maybe make Dr. Tomol, so that they will be ready. Dr. Tomol, Dr. Quintanar, and Dr. Cabico become hosts, so they can also do their sharing. Thank you very much. So, well, as I said, to start off our afternoon sharing, we will have the chairperson of the IC.
Dr. Camelio.
Sir?
Dr. Camelio, sorry. The president is here. We might as well request the president to have the message. And then after that, we will have Ma'am Tomol.
Okay. So thank you very much, Sir Edwin. I'm sorry I missed that one. So we are very happy, pleased, and honored to be graced by no less than our university president, who has been very supportive in our endeavor to bring ourselves into the new normal in teaching and learning, to make sure that learning continues despite our disruptions. So participants, colleagues of Cebu Technological University, let's all give way to our university president, Dr. Rosain A. Ancheta Jr.
Sir Cloyd, might as well na-mute si President.
Video.
Anyway, you'll be
Sir
also given
Chloe,
copy and then
the
Yes, sir.
material
president
or the
has
body and
Yes.
started
then
talking, I
references.
think.
This is
Okay.
very
So
important
please
in coming up
facilitate.
with a real
Unmute
instructional
already, sir.
material. It has to be
Okay,
complete,
thank you.
no? Preliminary pages and then the body. I'll focus on the body, on the material, and then references and even appendices if needed. So this is the whole book. This is the whole material. You will be acknowledged, you will be
No sound, sir, from Sir Anchita.
Sir Kamasura, please facilitate.
Naka-unmute naman si Sir Edwin, pero maglayo ang iyang mic siguro or
Video sa doon ta ni Sir President, Sir Goko.
yes, unmute na siya, ma'am. Na naman, pero maglayo iyang kuan or distorted ang iyang mic, ang iyang audio.
Naka-disable na iyang video. Dili kita to siya makita.
Wala niya gi kuan, gi enable sa enable na sa.
Na-mute si President.
Siya may wala niya gi enable yang video, ma'am. Pero yung mic is unmute na.
Okay, thank you.
Klaro imong audio, sir. Pili tawagan nimo Sir Edwin sa iyang cellphone o naka-kuan siya.
Akong gi-message si President, yan ang nakita.
Okay, sir. Asa na siya, Sir Edwin? Nasa Argao?
Wala, naara na si Sir Derek.
O nasa main, miss?
Yeah, wala siya madayon sa Argao. I don't know, basta wala siya madayon sa Argao.
Cannot contact attorney. I tried, but I messaged Dr. Ancheta, and he has seen my message, I think. Sir Joe comes, please help.
Talking man siya, sir, oh.
Talking bitaw.
King na gid siya, pero dili kuan. Bungol
Asa na
kayo.
si Pres. Makontak ni mo si President, di man makontak na ako. But he has seen my message. 2 missed calls na akong gihakuan. Ako nginan si Sir nga, Sir no audio. So kita siya. Sa Ancheta no audio. Na kay number diha lain ni attorney Sir Binoliraw. Kay di man
Sir,
ako
ara man si Ezra, gitry na ko si Ezra, sir.
Oo, palihog ko. Here.
Kuan kay nagtawagan siyang Sir Edwin ano. Hello, hello. Ay. Asa ba siya? La, sir, wala man daw si Sir Ancheta dito, sir. Nailakaw daw, sir.
Tawagan na lang ni Sir Edwin.
Oh.
Wala dahil dito sa office.
Wala sa office, wala sa office. Sige, sige. Salamat, Es. Thank you, thank you.
Miss.
Yes, sir.
Wala pa dahil si Sir Ancheta. Somebody else is using that.
Okay.
Sige. Okay, let's proceed, Miss. Sorry.
Okay. So, may I again request our facilitators here, Dr. Binoliraw and the rest, to have Dr. Tomol, Dr. Quintanar, and Dr. Cabico made as panelists, sir, so that they can already prepare their presentations. So while we wait for Dr. Ancheta, we are anytime when he arrives, he will just come in. And so we give way right now to the first presentation on the course pack sample to be given to us by the ICT chair of CTU Argao campus, Dr. Christine Joy Tomo.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon, Miss Joy.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So I will be presenting a sample course package for Introduction to Computing CC 111. Please allow me to share my screen.
Go ahead, Ma'am Joy. Pwede na ka, panelist naman. Share screen na, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, so I will just give a disclaimer. I don't have the Odilo official account yet, so I will be using our department's learning portal. This is powered by Moodle, but this is free. We did not pay anything for this, but I believe we will be using Odilo later on. And mostly some of the functionalities might be the same because Odilo is partnering with eThink, right, Sir Binolirao?
Yes, Ma'am Joy. Copy.
Okay, so this is the subject, Introduction to Computing. I'll be checking first. I'll be clicking the syllabus for the subject. So this is the unified syllabus, more or less. This is not the final yet, but this was forwarded to me from Dr. Garcia. So this is a 2-hour lecture and 3 hours laboratory per week. So my student activity sheet is basically patterned by this particular schedule. Okay. So since I will be meeting my students, supposed to be, if this is normal, not the new normal, there will be 5 hours in a week. As you can see, between 9 to 10, that's synchronous learning using LMS. And Thursday, that will be for asynchronous, meaning I can give them or they can download the self-paced student activity sheets. And then later on, I'll go back on synchronous learning using LMS again. So this is scheduled because we cannot really determine if the student has access to internet, specifically that we are living in a rural area or mountainous area. So that's how I created my student activity sheet. So I'll go back to the learning portal.
Ma'am Joy, dili
Yes,
wa
sir.
makita ang imong kwan ma'am
Wala mo
activity.
nakita, Joy.
Oh,
I-target mo ang imong kwan ang file. Thank you.
this one, sir.
Silabos pang nakita ma'am.
Oh, okay.
I-down ko mo, miss.
Oh, I stop share. Okay. So this is the, again, the class schedule for this particular subject.
Kindly slideshow Ma'am Joy.
So that is based on my schedule as well. So I divided the subject for this particular time frame. So we have 9 to 10, 10 to 11. That's 2 hours synchronous learning using LMS. And why I decided Monday? Probably they have allowance so they can purchase data or internet package. Then later on, they will have the asynchronous learning since they can download the self-paced student activity sheets that I'm going to present later. And then we'll go back to synchronous learning using LMS on Friday to have a feedback or presentation or feedbacking. So I'll go back to the learning portal. Sorry. Okay, so we're done with the syllabus. This one is for the attendance checking. So you can just click this one. It will redirect you to a Google form link where they will be typing in their first name and last name. And then there's a timestamp. So I'll proceed to the module that I created for this subject. So we have here week 15. There are two sets for this module. We have student activity sheets, week 15, day 1. Since for the entire week, there are 3 topics. So I decided to have it day 1, day 2, day 3. Then I also have a teacher's guide so that you will have a guide on what to do with that particular student activity sheets. So this is now the view of the student activity sheets. So Dr. Edwin Pilapil informed us earlier that we need to construct or develop our modules, workbook, activity sheets, learning sheets, and the like by integrating the 4 Ps, which are the preparation, presentation, practice, and performance. And of course, we also need to remind ourselves that as facilitators, especially in this new normal, we need to be flexible to the needs of our students and learners. And the question is, what if there is no internet connection? What will happen to the students? They will be idle for a week because they don't have access to Odilo or any form of LMS. So of course, these student activity sheets will answer their problem because they just need to download this one during Monday. And since it's self-paced, there are concept notes. They are provided with anything. They can just download it, save it in their phones, and then there you go. So here, that's Introduction to Computing, week 15, day 1. And that is labeled as student activity sheets. We have the materials and the references if they want to download the book or a copy. And this intended learning outcomes derived from the syllabus, the unified syllabus. So it's very important to note that in a particular meeting, say for example, Monday, I decided to have asynchronous learning and that's 2 hours. So you need to allocate and you need to provide time allocation for your student activity sheets. Say for example, for this overall activity sheets, this can be accomplished in 105 minutes. So that's almost 2 hours.
15,
Okay.
105.
So here for the lesson preparation, this you will need the student will answer the following questions, but basically we're done discussing about spreadsheet already, so this is just a lesson preparation. You can have a review or a preview, but of course the student activity sheet will have its teacher's guide as well. So for this particular one, I'm going to share the teacher's guide. Okay, so this is a different view. The label now is teacher's guide. So what would you like to do with the flow of the presentation or the subject? So teacher tips: open the class with a prayer and let them access the link for the attendance checking. Give them ample time to do it. Then once they are done, remember to extract the responses. So this is some sort of a guide for teachers. Then of course, you also need to provide your own answers or your own opinion about your question. Later on, as you move forward, you have the concept notes presentation. I'm highlighting P. That's 40 minutes. So you can have a screen recording or an online demonstration. Okay. And then you will have the guided practice. As you can see, there are already answers. But for the student activity sheets, there's no answer for that. So para dali rata mag-checking. Then this one is for, I label it compute skill since this is a computer subject. And that's for performance, which can be done for 20 minutes. So I have multiple choice and problem solving. And of course, since this is recorded, you need to provide the scoring criteria or the points. So this is now the student activity sheet from the teacher's guide. So this is how it looks like. So it's empty. Okay. So you have to figure it out. So we are very creative right now. So we can provide any names to our exercises. The next presenter will also be providing his own label for the exercises. Okay, so that's my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. If you have questions, feel free to throw it later.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Tolmol. That was very creative, and it followed the suggested format given to us earlier by Dr. Pilapil in the presentation this morning. So as you can see, this is another way of coming up with our own learning packs for our courses. We can use it. I'm already seeing the possibility of bringing this up to other courses that we handle. This is introduction to computing, but we can bring this kind of presentation to other courses as well. So we were able to save time. You were supposed to finish at 1:50, but you only did it in dali ara oy, 10 minutes. But maybe the others would like to see. So if you take a look, this is already a made portal. It's already in the portal. But what you
Yes,
just
ma'am.
emphasized is how the learning packs will look like. And she
Yes,
just
ma'am.
she gave us one chapter or one chapter of her entire course.
Yes,
So
that's
thank you
from
and
prelim to
congratulations,
finals.
CTU Argal, Dr. Tomal, for that presentation. So
Thank
for
you
the
so much for the
questions,
opportunity.
for the questions, kindly type your questions in the chat box, and Dr. Gador will pick that up later on. We will be giving you will be given time and to hear out the answers to your queries and clarifications. So now we moving up. We will now listen to another presentation from another program. This time from the College of Education, professional education subject to be presented to us by no less than the chair of the College of Education, CTU Argyle Campus, Dr. Fitzgerald Quintanar. Di pa siya ka-share, Sir Guko. Ka-share na. Is
For a
Dr.
while.
Okay, thank you.
Sa account ni Sir Fitz na CTU Argao, no?
Quintanar.
CTU Argao Fitzgerald. Anara.
So while waiting for Sir Quintanar, I would like to call the attention of those faculty who are also sent to the same workshop in Boracay. And these faculty are coming from Mual Boal. They can interact, they can react, and they can even make some suggestions later on during the Q&A. So attention, our CTU Mual Boal, Ma'am Grace Jimena, please heads up to those faculty who were involved, who were sent to training, the same training as that of City Argao. Thank you.
Ready na Sir Fitz, Miss.
Okay, sige. Share na. Share na.
Application. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. My afternoon greetings to the key officials of Cebu Technological University, led by Dr. Hussein A. Ancheta Jr., to our VPs, particularly Dr. Pilapil, the VP for Academic Affairs, Dr. Christian Haka, one of the panelists for this presentation, the University Director for Curriculum Planning and Development, Dr. Heidi Pineda, the Dean of Instruction of the system, Dr. Wilson Sayabok, the University Director for Instructional Delivery, Monitoring, and Evaluation, as well as our moderator or our officer for this afternoon session, Dr. Lynette Matea Camelio, campus directors who are virtually around, deans of the different campuses, chairpersons, and colleagues in the government service. I'll be presenting to you one of the subjects under the professional education curriculum of the teacher education department. And it's Ed 3110. That's actually the 10th professional education subject taken or to be taken by a teacher education student in the third year level. The course nomenclature is Building and Enhancing New Literacies across the curriculum. Actually, it's a new subject for me. So it will be my first time to handle this particular course to our third year teacher education for BE Ed, BS Ed Math, and for the BTL Ed. This is actually a product of the training or workshop that we attended from February 7 to February 9, 2020 at Boracay Island, Aklan, Philippines. And it was sponsored by the PICE 21, the Philippine Institute of the 21st Century Educators Incorporated. So a 2020 training workshop on designing and developing instructional materials together with Dr. Tomol, Dr. Albaracin, Dr. Cabico, and Dr. Montañez, together with the CTU Mualboal campus participants. So the sample of the course package, possibly for CTU LMS, is based on what is reflected in the unified syllabus for Ed 3110, which was given to me last week by Dr. Zarmi Briones, the Dean of the College of Education at CTU Tuburan campus, who happens to be the focal person for professional education subjects in the College of Education. This particular syllabi is actually a prototype syllabus. It's a prototype syllabus of the Teacher Education Council, the Research Center for Teacher Quality, or the Tech RCTQ. So actually, what we did is we just benchmark the prototype syllabus from the Tech RCTQ to the template of the Cebu Technological University. So for Ed 3110, or the building and enhancing new literacies across the curriculum, so the prototype syllabus utilized or used or identified three program outcomes under section 6.2 on common to discipline teacher education. B, demonstrate mastery of subject matter or discipline. C, facilitate learning using a wide range of teaching methodologies and delivery modes appropriate to specific learners and their environments. And F, demonstrate a variety of thinking skills in planning, monitoring, assessing, and reporting learning processes and outcome. So these program outcomes are based on CMO 74, the PSGs for BE Ed, CMO 75, the PSGs for BS Ed, and CMO 78, the PSGs for BTL Ed. Aligned in the program outcomes are actually the BTIs, or the beginning teacher indicators, which are reflected in the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers per DepEd Order number 42 series of 2017. So the program outcomes for the College of Education should be aligned also, or which is a product of the curriculum mapping done by the Tech RCTQ for the alignment between the program outcomes set by the Commission on Higher Education and the PPST for DepEd, or the Department of Education, under the beginning teacher status. Okay, so based on the template of this unified syllabus, no, as presented by Dr. Haka earlier, so the ILOs, the ATs, the TLA, the contents, the learning resources, the references, the time allocation, and remarks are reflected in the unified syllabus. One of the topics that I'll be presenting to you for the course package for Ed 3110 will be topic Unit 4B for social literacy in the context of the five major social institutions. So the ILO for this, there is only one intended learning outcome, and that is to demonstrate social and people skills. The ATs for this is group presentation using Messenger or group chat and Google Meet. The pre-service teachers will give a report on the result of the interview conducted. The process, an interview guide must be prepared ahead of time, and the output will be an interview result. The TLA is an interview survey. The PSTs will conduct a survey on awareness and option on cyberbullying. This is an application of the social skills discussed. This presentation is a preparation for the discussion of Unit 4E, which is on cyber literacy. So there is a connection between Unit 4B, social literacy, and Unit 4E, which is cyber literacy. So the activity result here, the interview result here, will be a preliminary activity presentation for Unit 4E on cyber literacy. So learning resources will be the slideshow presentations of teachers and output presentations of students. And the modules from the work text or the notes and activity sheets prepared by the teacher. So I'll be presenting to you now the whole, no, work text, or it's actually a compilation or compendium. So I am not that very confident to upload this in the library resources of the Odilo, because it is just a compilation or compendium of the capsulated notes coming from different sources like the internet, from Ed 2 to 8, the teacher and the community, the school culture, and then organizational leadership, social dimensions of education, book of PAFTE, the foundations of education of PAFTE, and the Rex Publishing Incorporated, and the book published by Rex Publishing Company, The Building and Enhancing New Literacies Across the Curriculum, and all references coming from the communication superhighway or the internet. So it's not really a book, but it's just a compilation or a compendium. So I'll be presenting now the entire workbook. Mhm. Okay, are you now seeing my workbook?
Rubric among makit-an to. Oh, okay. Okay
Ah,
na.
kana siya. Okay.
Yan.
This is actually the compendium that I made on building and enhancing new literacies across the curriculum. So based on the formats and the parts discussed earlier this morning by Dr. Edwin Pilapil, so we have the title page. So actually this workbook, I generated a QR code, and this workbook is already saved through my Google Drive for me to produce a link or URL. So Kanisia, this is the URL of this entire workbook, and I also generated from a free QR code generator in Google this particular QR code. So if the student has the QR code scanner, or if you have their QR code scanner, you can scan this particular QR code to see the whole thing, no, about the Benlac or the workbook in this particular subject. So if you don't have the scanner, so you can have this particular link, no, kaya ako man ni siya gi-link or gi-save ni nako sa Google Drive. So actually, all of my materials are already saved in the Google Drive. Kaya I thought nga we will be using entirely the Google Suite, no? Pero Odelo man, Odelo atong learning management system. But still, I can use the link, no? Kay di man ta kalahos og embed sa material in Odilo. It has to be linked gyud siya. So through the Google Drive. So the preface of this particular compilation, the dedication, which is part of uh, the phase, no, or formats, and then the table of contents. So this particular workbook, the students will have to encounter 10 sets of adventures plus the preliminary activity, which is VMGO and course orientation. So the first set of adventure will be an introduction of key concepts. Adventure number two will be teaching strategies for the development of literacy, skills, and teaching resources. Third, the 21st century skills, globalization, and education. The fourth will be the OECD Global Competence Framework. Fifth, social literacy and social institution. Sixth, media literacy. Seventh, financial literacy. Eighth, digital literacy and its four principles. Ninth, ecological literacy. And 10th is bringing together creativity and literacy. So we have the bibliography, all the references that I use from the books and the internet sources. And then the appendices included are unified syllabus and sample rubrics, which I'll be using for my writing for writing activity, for output presentation, and for whatever activities that I'll be doing per lesson or per unit. Okay, so from the preliminary, so based on the meat, no, of the workbook, Dr. Pilapil discussed the formats under the very meat, no, of the presentation, which is which are the four P's: the presentation, the preparation, the presentation, the practice, and the performance. But I use another term So in which I am emphasizing three letters of our university, the acronym with CTU. So for my preparation, because the preparation is somewhat the preliminary or the introductory activity or the motivation or activating prior knowledge. So I use the term captivate yourself. So emphasizing the three letters of CTU. So the second part or segment under the meat of the presentation is presentation. So the presentation is the lesson development no of the workbook or of your class. So it's connect to understand, in which the teacher here will discuss, the teacher will give the capsulated notes or the bulleted um, notes or concepts or the concept notes. So that's connect to understand. The third segment is the practice. So I use the term commit and conquer, where students are given activities. It could be done by group or it could be done individually. And then the last segment is the performance. It could be an authentic assessment, just like performance based or product based assessment, or it could be the traditional pen and paper test. So I use the term credit and culminate. So assignment is gihaylan ako dihang assignment because that is optional based on the formats presented by Dr. Pilapil. So mo na siya makita kada lesson. So I'll be focusing with the sixth, no, with the 4B, the unit 4B. So I'll stop sharing and then let us proceed now to the meat of my presentation, which is a sample module. Okay, are you seeing now on your respective screens the edited module 10?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so this is unit 4B or the sixth topic, and the 10 topics or major contents are actually reflected in the unified syllabus for ed 3110 that I have shown to you earlier. So the topics are not actually the topics coming from one book only. So these topics can be seen or that which can be served or which can be reflected in different sources. So, Unit 4B, the title of the module is 21st Century Literacies, Social Literacy in the context of the five major social institutions. So, this particular lesson, because my plan is all of these lessons which are uploaded through my Google Drive, they are by chunk. So, I'll not be giving the entire workbook to my students, but I'll be giving them by chunk or by lesson or by unit. So like for example, there is a distinct QR code per lesson. So for unit 4B, so I have generated a QR code and I have also reflected in my sample module the URL or the link in which they can um, click in order for them to proceed to this particular lesson. Okay, so as part of each lesson or in the module, so we have the intended learning outcome. At the end of the unit, the pre-service teacher must have demonstrated social and people skills. And this particular ILO is actually reflected, or it is the ILO reflected in Unit 4B, Social Literacy and Social Institutions in the Unified Syllabus. So ang tanan nga mga ILO, even the topics or the major contents are actually seen in in the unified syllabus. So to make it more attractive, so I used graphics, but actually these graphics, I do not own these graphics. That is why I put disclaimer here. Picture not mine, credits to the owner. Kay makihan niya ta sa kuan, makihan niya ta sa tag-iya or creator of this particular graphics or picture. Okay. The time element. Okay, this is the time element. And I already added here The CTU graduate attributes. So wala lang siya. Wait sa Okay. So let's proceed to Unit 4B. Just wait for a while. Okay. So I picked three na CTU are graduate attributes, which are highly skilled individual, effective communicator, ethically imbued professional, and then aligned with the CTU core values of excellence, unity, and integrity. So within this particular module, so time element 4 hours, and then the CTU graduate attributes and the CTU core values are also embedded. And this was actually presented just this morning through Dr. Christy Ann Haka's presentation. Edited. Okay. So the first part or the first segment is preparation. But actually in the actual module, I do not use the term preparation, but so ako na siyang gi-erase. So for emphasis lang, so that's captivate yourself. So in here, I have the introductory words, and then the introductory activity is actually movie viewing that's Sayo Lamang, directed by Loris Guillen, 2020, via Netflix or I Want. Our students are digital natives, so they already have for sure apps in the Netflix, or they have also app also for I Want. So this could serve as an agreement that students will have to watch the this particular movie prior to the scheduled synchronous online class for this particular topic. No, kay this is an introductory activity. Note, an activity sheet will be accomplished by the students after watching the movie. So the activity sheet looks like this. So captivate yourself. Okay, this is the introductory activity. It's movie time. So fill in the matrix below. Movie viewing Sa'yo Lamang, directed by Loris Guillen, 2020. So this is the matrix. The five major social institutions emphasized here are family, education, religion, economic institution, and government. So they are already third year. So they know issues, no, of the time presented in the movie per major social institution. So use bullets per issue and then elaboration of the issue. So this will be the introductory activity for the topic under Unit 4B, Social Literacy and Social Institutions. So after watching the movie, after accomplishing the activity sheet, we will now proceed with synchronous. So that could be asynchronous because they can watch the movie anytime. Basta, they already watched it prior to the scheduled synchronous online class. In our student or class program or the class schedule, usually in Argao campus lang ha nga situation, our this particular subject is 3 hours per week. So usually kuha na siya, two sessions, 1.5 hours per session. So my plan is the first 1.5 will be the synchronous online class. The second 1.5 hours will be the asynchronous or the accomplishing activity sheets which are given by the teacher during the first 1.5 hours or the synchronous online classes or learning. So with this, The connect to understand or the presentation will be it can be online or offline. So online can be synchronous in nature, meaning the teacher will have to schedule an online class via Google Meet, Zoom, or video conferencing if there is a phase or a feature sa Odilo learning management system that we are allowed to schedule for video conferencing. I don't know kung naa ba siya video conferencing. Kung wala gani, we can use Google Meet, we can use Messenger rooms or the FB rooms in which the functions are just like functions or features of Zoom and Google Meet. You try to explore that one. So here, or it could be offline. Unsa man ang offline, you can give the capsulated notes to the students and let them do self-reading or self-study. Let's connect to understand. So in connect to understand, so we can insert subtopics no from social institutions and five major social institutions. So what could be the appropriate or most fitted topics that you can enter under connect to understand? So in my case, this is actually taken in social dimensions of education. Kaya ang social dimensions of education, wala naman siya in the new curriculum, but it is embedded in BENLAC sa building and enhancing new literacies across the curriculum. So I use capsulated notes. So the topics are what is a social institution, characteristics, institutions have various functions, the five major social institutions like family, the kinds of family, education, the purposes of education, the manifest functions of education, the latent functions of education, religion, its characteristics and functions, and the elements of religion, the economic institutions, micro versus macroeconomics, and the government. So, what are the functions of the government? So, these are under the presentation segment of the sample module, which is I term connect to understand. The third segment, as presented by Dr. Pilapil, is the practice. So, practice can be an activity which can be done individually or it can be done by group. So the question is, can still there be socialized interaction or collaborative learning activity in the new normal? Yes. My plan is I will let we go with a synchronous online class, but I'll give instruction to my students. Okay, create group chat in which members are the members of your grouping or of your team. So you do brainstorming or do or accomplish an activity within your group chat. So Messenger is for free, no, as long as naalang kay data or naalang kay load. So even for Messenger Lite, no, or FB Lite, you can have collaborative learning activities in which students and teachers are very familiar of. So here, commit and conquer. So that's the practice segment. So, but the word for practice, wala gina siya in the actual module. So, collaborative learning activity. The activity here is interview and survey. The pre-service teachers will conduct a survey on awareness and opinion on cyberbullying. This is an application of the social skills discussed. This is a preparation for the discussion of Unit 4E on cyber literacy. The created group will have to survey at least 10 students via any digital platform using the adapted student cyberbullying survey. The adapted student cyberbullying survey will be provided by the teacher. So mo ni siya wired safety student cyberbullying survey. The source is reflected as well in the questionnaire or the survey form mo. Ihatag ni siya sa mga bata. What they will do is to look for at least 10 respondents. So remember, this third year will go through research subject as well in the second semester. So why not expose them to research-oriented activity, research-mediated activities so that dili na sila ma-shock in the second semester. So group presentation using Messenger, group chat, and Google Meet. The PSTs will give a report on a result of the interview conducted. The process is the interview guide must be prepared ahead of time, and output will be the interview result. This is very realistic. So the teacher will have to give instruction how to tally. The simple frequency lang good siya ang gamito, no? The note rubrics will be provided for reference. So this is the rubrics, no, kung ano ka ako na pong gi-emphasize para to nindot pud siya ba nga murag customized siya og personalized. So ay nangita ko pamaagi nga ma-emphasize na ko ang three letters, no, of our university, which is CTU. Rubrics for group or team output presentation, and this should be given, no, along with the presentation of the activity under the practice segment. Okay, so dapat aware ang bata daan in which particular segments of our activity are we rated. So they are rated through the content, organization and coherence, materials, and the delivery and the teamwork. So the last segment is performance. And I gave the term or title credit and culminate. This is actually the test. This time sa ako pwede ra pud to siya nga ang group or ang output presentation will be the performance, no? Kaya ang imong activity is the survey man. You can have the performance, but I also add. Okay, in the CTU Argao, we are encouraging the faculty members nga there should be combination of authentic assessment kanang performance or product based assessment and the traditional. Why? Because when they will be taking the board examination for teachers, they will not be taking, or the PRC, board for professional teachers, are not using authentic assessment. They are using the traditional multiple choice type, no, of assessment. So mo na nga here in our Gao campus, we are encouraging our faculty members in the co-ed or College of Ed to use multiple choice type of questions for them to be acquainted with board exam types of questions. So ako traditional lang siya. It's actually combination of authentic and the traditional way of assessing students' achievement. So this is long test number 5. Kay ika 5 man ni siya nga major content, social literacy and social institutions. So I have 25 multiple choice types of question and then 2 open-ended or essay questions. But actually, this will not be a part of the module nga akong isend sa mga bata. So wala ni ang quiz. So how can I administer quiz in which cheating will not be unsa ni students will not cheat, no, through your exam. So naa may mga app nga naay time element nga or time pressured per item, like for example the quizis.com. So dili ang Google Forms I explored quiz, no, sa Google Forms dili siya maka-cheat gud ang mga bata, but quizis.com you try to explore that particular app. Every item na ay, like for example, item number 1, I can give 5 seconds nga time pressure for the time pressured nga item. So for the time element, it's only 5 seconds. So dili na siguro makaukay, no, sa notes ang bata kay 5 seconds ra gid siya or 10 seconds ra gid siya. So the teacher can give link, no, and schedule for the students to take the exam, the time pressured examination. The link or the QR code, and they can only answer, you can unsa ni, you can do the orientation nga it's limit to one response only. So dili sila ka-take og second time or third time sa exam ka usa ra gyud. Basta lang you can give the URL during the time nga maggusto ka nga mahuman ang exam, and then you can set deadline. It could be within 2 hours. So anytime sa 2 hours you can take the examination, but beyond 2 hours that particular link will be invalid anymore. So that's the last segment. So the entire workbook, to complete lang the parts na as discussed by Sir Ed or Dr. Edwin Pilapil. Okay. So, I have 10 actually mode, ika-11 to ang preliminary activities. So, I have here the bibliography. So embedded also in the performance is the Benlac related article. So naa sila kung literacies magud ni siya. So reading comprehension is very important. So for each module, I embed Benlac stands for building and enhancing new literacies across the curriculum. So I embedded a Benlac related article no from the communication superhighway or from a newspaper. So topic unsa ni article related to a major content per unit or per lesson. So naana sila basahon ang mga bata and one or two questions will do. No to kuan lang ba to develop reading comprehension or the levels of comprehension among our students. So ang last part ana niya we have the wait the bibliography, the books that I used no, for this particular compilation or compendium, and all of the internet sources, including the link where I got all the pictures. No, so ang pictures na ko disclaimer nga picture not mine, credits to the owner. So akong gibutang diha ang link niya no through the Google appendices. So I have a sample rubrics for group or team output presentation. We have rubrics for evaluating a journal entry, and then rubrics for oral reporting evaluation. And then rubrics for essay and writing evaluation because these documents will be asked also by accreditors the AACUP no, during AACUP accreditation. So, and then the unified syllabus in Ed 3110 scanned, no, if ready na gyud siya, no, it will be signed by Dr. Camelio as a language expert, ni Dr. Heidi Pineda, ni Dr. Wilson Sayabok, and Dr. Edwin Pilapil, no, in the template of the unified syllabus. So that is my
Dr. Haka.
compilation or Dr. Haka and also Dr. Haka. No? So this is my humble sample of the module for building and enhancing new literacies across the curriculum. For those handling this particular subject, no, sa tanang mga campuses of the Cebu Technological University, I am willing to share this particular module, but it's for enhancement ha, and for improvement. So, but I am willing to share this no particular module for Ed 3110. Thank you so much, everyone, for the opportunity. Thank you for listening. And that is all my presentation.
Wow. Okay. Sana all. I think Dr. Kitanar is ready. So he has is ready with the September 1, the opening. Because we're kompleto naman eh. I think he will just
Ready,
present
ready na na, miss.
group. Ready na. So whatever the platform, later on, when Odilo will also be ready. So this is the most ready, I think, of the presentation. So he doesn't need to wait until the last week of August because it's almost done. Pending, of course, comments from the Benlac group. Congratulations, CTU Argao College of Education Chairperson, Dr.
Thank you
Quintanar.
so much, Miss.
Yes, that's he had 2 minutes left from his allocated time. Thank you. So again, reserved questions. The others may receive reserved questions. That has been the presentation showed to us how the 4Ps or the PPPP guide presented by Dr. Pilapil this morning has worked its way into that particular course pack for a professional education course. So thank you. And now we move to wala pa si Sir Ancheta, Sir Edwin.
Mo inform lang si attorney.
Okay, thank you, sir. So maybe the others who have viewed so far too, two course packs are already given somehow the idea of how they will proceed with their respective courses later on. So we are given a lot of there's a lot of thought that go through our minds while listening to them and on the subjects that we are going to prepare for. So our third presenter for this afternoon, again from CTU Argao campus, the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Luisil Tiofi Cabiko, who will be presenting to us a general education course. This is Purposive Communication. Sir IC, take it away. Sir IC. Salamat, Sir IC.
Miss.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir.
Nanako ron si Dr. Ancheta
Okay.
from Ezra, pero ako sang inon ha, ako sa tawagon. Moment.
Yeah. Sir Gooks, the comment here is si Sir IC wala pa na panelist. So while nag-prepare, I will also...
Miss?
IC, Kabiko, I think.
Ako sa isa.
IC.
Wala.
So may account ni...
Kasi nag-rename siya ba? O usually si CTU Argao may ilang gi-rename sa ilan ni Kuan, Sir Pete o Ma'am Joy. Akong gi-search wala man.
Sir Fitz, palihog ko. Sir IC, Sir Fitz.
Sir Ancheta is here now, Dr. Camelio.
Okay,
while
sige.
waiting for Sir IC.
Sige. So while waiting for Dr. Cabiko to become panelist and waiting for him to do his presentation, we will now give way to again our university president, who has been giving us the marching orders to implement FLS for starting academic year 2020-2021. Dr. Ancheta, who has been supportive of the endeavors to prepare all faculty to the changing paradigm of the teaching learning process in the new normal. So friends, fellow workers of CTU, let's all welcome our university president, Dr. Rosaine A. Ancheta Jr.
Unmute, sir. Unmute.
Unmute.
Okay, sir.
Wala,
Okay na, sir. Nabati na to kanina. Okay.
Kisa tong MC, Sir Edwin.
Dr. Camelio.
I said, Dr. Lynette mo na ito. Good afternoon, Sir Edwin, Dr. Lynette, and to other academic directors and deans, faculty. This is the training for the webinar on designing and developing undergraduate course packages for LTU LMS. And our purpose here is to establish the flexible learning system in the university, and it should be a stable, flexible learning system wherein the quality of the instruction will not be compromised. So the students will become digital savvy or digital natives also through technology-based learning beyond the four corners of the classroom, because we are having this flexible learning, the combination of the online, offline, the hybrid or the blended learning, and we'll train also our faculty to be catalyst of change and become digital savvy also. So not only preparedness and or we are not preparing only our students but also our faculty. And last Saturday, during the presentation of the Commission Higher Education for the higher education at this point of the new normal, on how institutions of higher education adapt to the new normal. The speaker was our chairman of the CTU Board of Regents, Commissioner Perfecto Alibin, and he discussed everything about the LMS, the flexible learning system, utilizing the learning management system. And the CTU LMS was the one featured in that talk of Commissioner Alibin, because I know he appreciated much our LMS, although it's quite expensive. This is the most comprehensive one, but also an expensive one, because I told the board that we cannot compromise quality and we should not settle for something less. That's why, since we have the budget in the university, we realigned budget from our national government, from GAA, and later we'll have some supporting budget also from our STF, so that we can deliver the best instruction to our students, at the same time giving sufficient trainings and seminars to our faculty, so that as what I have mentioned, the quality of education in our university will not be compromised. So the goal of this project is uh, is that CTU will have an efficient, flexible learning system during this pandemic, and we do not know when this pandemic will end, but I know this will end next year, and I hope that everything will be back to normal. Our goal for this project is that 100% of the students will have increased competencies in technology-based learning through the use of the different platforms. So we are using any means here in the delivery of the instruction, and of course, I know that this is a comprehensive project in the university. This LMS, the learning management system. We hope that the digital literacy also will be enhanced, not only for the faculty, for the administrators and other officials in the university, but of course for our students, because most of our campuses are located in Cebu province, wherein we are considered to be one of the leading provinces in the country. So we will be training our students on the need for the 21st century skills, no? The foundational literacies. Of course, number one requirement is the digital literacy, ICT literacy, because we are aware that some of our faculty members are not digital savvy or not digital literate. But we are emphasizing also the competencies of our students. No, I hope that we can train our students to become independent learners with this online offline blended method, or with our LMS. That's very important, that they can have more time for themselves in their learning. So we have also not only the competencies but also the character qualities. So we need to develop our students, despite that we are not anymore in the old normal, but still this should be the complete package that we can give to our students, so that we cannot produce half-baked graduates. So even if we are in pandemic, we should consider always the quality. That's why this is a big challenge for Cebu Technological University. No? In the recent ranking of universities, still CTU is the #1 technological state university, as you can see in the ranking. That's why this is a very big challenge for CTU, because everybody will be thinking that or will be expecting that we can deliver efficiently and effectively the instruction through different digital platforms. maybe other universities are expecting that we have high-end facilities because we are a technological university. So we need to prove that, and we need to justify that we are really one of the leading technological universities in the Philippines. So I would like to encourage the faculty to be innovative and be smart also. We need to help each other. Our methods now in the delivery of instruction, this is not also normal. This is difficult, especially to those who are not digital literate or digital savvy. So that's why who those who need help, we should help our faculty members, other faculty members, not only the regular but also the part-timers. And we need to cooperate with each other. We need to collaborate. We'll help each other in order to address our preparedness and readiness for the September 1 opening of classes. And I think you have read also an article this morning that the Commission Higher Education told those schools who are not ready to open this September or September to open classes in later dates. So they were told by the CHED. But I was asked also last Saturday by the Commission Higher Education if we are ready to open the September 1. Since everything's already in place, we have already this expensive yet comprehensive LMS project in the university. I'm confident that we can do this, or we can open our classes this September 1. But we'll be expecting some irregularities, no? I hope that we will be meeting minor problems only in the implementation of our flexible learning system, or the LMS. So for our faculty, you keep on learning and studying more. You have sufficient time because you are just staying in your homes, no? And I hope that you will continue doing things or activities that can enhance your intellect also, as well as doing research, and be familiarized with this new normal of the delivery of instruction. So di na to madali ni, no? So we need sufficient time to learn on how to do this new ways and means in the delivery of instruction. With our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Edwin Pilapil, and other deans, no? So si Sir Pilapil na bugbog ni ron sa kaning new normal na to sa delivery of instruction. But I know we can implement this and we can do this in our university. So we will prove that we are really a technological university, that we are capable in delivering instruction through different digital platforms. So I hope that everybody will be cooperative. We have intelligent and competent deans also, our faculty. So that's why I can see an efficient and effective implementation of this project, or LMS. I don't believe that we have mediocre faculty in the university. Our faculty are trainable and fast learners, so I'm confident that everybody can do this. So this is a big challenge to all of us. I think I have mentioned already everything. So thank you very much for the cooperation of everybody. I hope that we can have a successful opening of classes on September 1. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ancheta, for giving us all faculty, especially those who are present today, 542 faculty present in this webinar, to the challenge and encouragement that even if at the start, it seemed a little bleak. Right now, after the inspirational message posing to us the challenge to be cooperative and collaborative, and having seen so far some presentations from our faculty on how the course packs can be done and it can be done, we are all encouraged to say that I think Cebu Technological University can do this within the given time we have, given all the support and mentoring that we can get from everybody. Thank you very much, Dr. Ancheta. And now, I think the third presenter for a sample course pack from Cebu Technological University for a general education course, no less than the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, to give us a sample course pack for purposive communication. Let's all welcome Dr. Luisel Geoffrey IC Cadillo.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Miss. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to congratulate my colleagues for the very vivid presentations. And unfortunately, I'm the last and hopefully not the least.
Okay, go.
So I am asked to share the course syllabus. I'm sorry, the learning module for purposive communication. And speaking of collaborative, I'd also like to again say thank you to my colleagues in crafting this unified syllabus for purposive communication. So for teachers who are teaching and will be teaching this semester, I'd like to reiterate the meaning of purposive communication. It's about writing, speaking, and presenting to different audiences and for various purposes. And actually, the macro view of this particular subject is to develop students' communicative competence in terms of the power of language. It could be audiovisual or web-based output for various purposes. In this particular example, I think my colleagues have already emphasized steps on making the modules. I highlighted only one ILO, and this is convey ideas through oral, audiovisual, and or web-based presentation for different target audiences in local and global settings using appropriate registers. This is under CLO or course learning outcomes number 3, which is, I'll go back, convey ideas through oral, audiovisual, and or web-based presentation for different target audiences in local and global settings, appropriate registers under POs 1 and 2. Now I'll go directly to my sample learning module for communication for various purposes. This is under midterm, or module number 2 actually. So this intended learning outcome is found in our syllabus. So all you have to do is just to copy this one. So within the semester, the students are expected to create a clear, coherent, and effective communication materials. This is CLO number 4. For time allocation, this is a total of 4 hours. So same also with my colleagues. I do have here the introduction. So we have the opening tasks. Students are to listen, jot down, interpret. So I have a separate sheet for my opening task, and this is this. Okay, so the students are to click this particular link in YouTube, which is the video of the most important cannot be said by Eddie Calasan's TED Talk. So after which they'll have to answer questions like, for example, listen to the whole speech and list down 5 important personal takeaways. Describe the speech and speech delivery in 3 words and explain each. And number 3, if you'll be given a chance to deliver a speech of the same theme, how will you organize your message? Then you have students are to provide an outline. So this is an example of an opening activity. So a teacher of purposive communication could also do a specific activity for the opening tasks. For the presentation, I have here communication fundamentals, the basic communication principles, uh, purposes of communication. And communication can be informative, effective, imaginative, persuasive, and ritualistic. Then after which the students are to do collaborative learning tasks. So say for example, in a group of 6 or 7 members, do the following tasks. No? The group may use at least 3 among the following modes for invitations. It could be an email, a Facebook, Twitter, or any social media forms, print and or electronic. So for example, for group number 1, members have to create a written public announcement about disaster preparedness. Group number 2, write down an editorial about environmental issues. Group number 3, write down a political speech about COVID-19, for example. Group number 4, write a letter of appreciation for the nation given to the calamity victims, or create an incident report about the latest vehicular accident in your place. So this is a group of 6 or 7 members. According to Dr. Quintanar a while ago, that they may use group chat as a form of groupings for a certain tasks, and um, you may schedule a conference. Say, for example, you may schedule a specific conference within the 4 hours to reinforce or to have a feedback or feedback mechanism regarding the experiences of the students in making the following tasks. Then after which is you can give an assessment in the form of a quiz. I don't know, I'm sorry. Let me share to you also the rubrics for the collaborative learning task, the point, value, like the topic sentence, supporting details, organization and transitions, style, mechanics, because these are the rudiments in um, clear, coherent, and effective communication materials. And another form of assessment is a form of, you may give also a quiz. No? So long quiz on communication for various purposes. So according to Dr. Quintanar a while ago in his vivid explanation that for the students not to cheat on the exam, you may use several apps like quiz.com, so that the questions will be time bounded, meaning the students do not have opportunities to cheat. And of course, you can also do essay writing, etc. And after which are my references. That's all. Thank you very much for listening, Miss.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Kabiko. That's one sample general education course pack given to us from the group that crafted the unified Jack PC syllabus. Dr. Kabiko, thank you very much. And thank you to the 3 presenters from the CTU Argao campus, those who gladly and generously shared to us their sample course packs, of course, having been sent to a training on instructional materials crafting sometime early this year, pre-COVID attendance to a seminar for the year. Salamat, Sir IC, Sir Fitz, and Ma'am Joy for the sharing. And I think I'm seeing in the chat box a lot of a lot of positive comments, and maybe perhaps for you to also share how samples of those somewhere in a link maybe. So the commitment was already there with Sir Quintanar to share his course pack for BENLAC with other professional education teachers handling the same course across the university. So daghang salamat for the generosity, and now it's time for us to listen, to go into the question and answer Q&A, and I will now turn you over to the research chairperson of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Sanlay Gador. San, may I request Sir Binulirao to make Dr. Gador panelist so she can switch on her microphone.
Your name is?
Sanlay Gador.
Sanlay.
Let me just take you back to a little down memory lane. Well, our speakers earlier were sharing their course packs. I remember that in CTU Argao, the journey to the crafting of very useful instructional materials started for us in 2011 with Dr. Pilapil himself, who trained our faculty in the making of instructional materials. And so I think, Sir Edwin, this is the journey that you shared with us back then, 9 years ago, and our faculty have been somehow gotten used to the making of very useful syllabi as required to us of us by our accreditors, and the need for us to be with our students and keep ourselves updated along that area. So thank you, Sir Edwin, also for guiding us there. So now let's okay. So now I turn you over to Dr. Sanlay Gador for the question and answer. And I believe there are a lot of questions in our Q&A chat box. Daghang kay mga pangutana. So Ma'am San.
Okay, sige. Thank you so much, Dean. Good afternoon, everyone. We are now opening the floor for some questions for this afternoon's session. So actually, there isn't any question posted in our chat box or in the Q&A box yet, but I think some of our participants are still on their way to typing their questions. So please feel free to type in your questions so that we could ask anyone from our presenters, Dr. Quintanar, Dr. Cabico, and Dr. Tomol, answer some of these questions that you have, or if not, we could ask other panelists present this afternoon to answer your questions.
Dr. Gador,
oh yeah, okay. Yeah, hello, sir. Yes, sir.
We can entertain those who are raising their hands.
Okay. I don't see their hands raised, sir.
Ma'am. So I will allow them to talk.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Di ko kakita lagi nga na nag-raise sa ilang hand. Sige, okay. Sige, sir. Pwede, sir.
Sa participants, ma'am. I-click tong participants.
Okay. Sa participants. I'm sorry. Okay. Sige. Okay. So we are going to kinsa man ni Belet. Let me check, sir. One moment.
We have Roderick Mistula.
Roderick, sige. Take it away, Sir Rod. What is your question?
Unmute your mic lang, sir.
Hello, Sir Rod? Di man ko kakita sa iyang answer actually.
Ganiya siguro ni nag-raise, ma'am.
Morning man siguro ni Sir, no?
Oh, pero another
But there's another one. Sir Francis Pacaldo?
Okay.
Okay, allowed to talk. Sir Franz, what can you ask your question now?
Hello, good afternoon everyone. Ma'am, akong question regarding sa sa math, ma'am. Di ba sa exam, sinamantay sa math man mag-exam tayo, we have this kaning allowing student to show their solutions ba. Nya, unsaon man nato na pag-apply sa ato ang udilo, ma'am, nga ma-show ang solution sa mga bata during kanang assessment or exam or quiz or exercises or unsa pa na dira.
Okay, can we ask Sir kanang Cloy? Is there a way that the Odilo could design some feature that will allow this kind of koan for the teachers to see the solutions of their students?
Okay, thank you so much po. Good afternoon once again sa inyo po lahat.
Good
Uh,
afternoon.
actually, actually that question has been asked 2 weeks ago and during the webinar that we have, and then I will answer again. As per the new patch we are developed now with Udilo, we are now creating to support, especially for that type of questions or quizzes or exercises. Actually, it's part already our patch, and it's part. I think Dr. Bert, Ingrid Bert already suggested that one during the pre-con conference as well. And then it's part of the technical specifications that we're gonna provide to CTU.
Okay. So we're just going to wait for that kind of additional feature, sir, in Odilo?
Yes, correct, ma'am. It's part of the new patch or new updates or customization requests by CTU.
Okay. So, Sir Franz, okay na?
Sige ma'am, sige ma'am.
All
Thank you,
right.
ma'am.
Okay. So we have some additional questions here. Are we going to open the floor, by the way, Dr. Lynette, to just 15 minutes of the open forum?
Actually, we have. Wait. Am I?
Actually, we are way ahead of schedule, but
Yeah.
maybe Dr. Pelapil will have would need more time for the presentation. I don't know.
Plenty of time left, Ma'am San.
Yes, you can just prompt me, ma'am, if ever. Sige.
Okay.
So we have a lot of questions actually. The first question here that I have would have something to do with the functional English syllabus because this is a relatively new course, and this anonymous attendee wants to create a module. However, he or she is apprehensive as to how to start because there might be topics that would be similar to or in duplication of those that are mentioned in the purposive com. So maybe Dr. Pelapil could shed light on this
Okay, so good
about the
afternoon.
functional English syllabus now, sir. Thank
Yeah, good
you.
afternoon. Good afternoon. There is a certain group identified to prepare the functional English syllabus. So we should be guided by that. Don't worry about um, duplication because we saw to it in our functional English deliberation for the syllabi. We already have, I attended, and then I know what is in the purposive com, and it should not be a duplication of purposive com. So it's there, it's clear. So don't worry about it. You can work it well with other people or other faculty members involved in the cluster because we have the clustering tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, so we'll just wait for the release of the syllabus so that we would know what the contents are
Yeah,
specified, sir.
yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Pilapil. There's also another question here about the template. So I think this is a the teacher wants to find to ask whether there is going to be a unified template for the course pack given that the presentations shown to us this morning and this afternoon made use of different formats of their uh, course packs.
Okay, let me answer that. How I wish we could have a template that is uniform. But then I also have another thought. While the presentation was done since this morning and have been done until in the afternoon, I also see the beauty of having a very creative way of presenting the lesson, provided that the parts of the body of the instructional processes that we need to present should follow the 4 Ps. Just like it's also just if I may say something about the presentation of Dr. Quintanar, he was so very creative to have a good phraseology where CTU is emphasized. But I would also like to say something about it in a way that our purpose is not to really emphasize what CTO is, but we have to also consider the simplicity of the terminology. But again, I would appreciate it because that's something new. However, when Dr. Quintanar erased the piece, I think it has to be restored as preparation, then presentation, then practice and then performance, so that other teachers who in fact teachers who are not around can simply connect the idea, this is presentation, because the simpler word, no, because it's not only for the utilization of Argao campus, but this is for the entire university, so that we can simplify things. They can connect to the idea of what's that, engage, what's the term for prepare, what was that, Ma'am Camelio, on the preparation part, activate ba to? Activate, there's another term,
Engage.
engage,
Engage. No, no, no.
yeah, somewhat like another term, but again, it's just the same meaning with preparation. So I
Yeah.
suggest you can have the creative way of your phrases, but open close, simplify it to preparation, presentation, because that's very simple to understand. We don't need any, by the way, we will not also be talking riddles here, but we have to be very direct, straightforward, in as much as this is publicly, no, it's a public document, if I may say, and that will be publicly shared by all, so that new teachers will not be asking, what does this mean? So it's the simple word can guide. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Pilapil. So I think the one who the one who asked this question about the access of faculty to come up with their own customized format, like let's say font type, and all, is also covered in the answer or the response of Dr. Pilapil. Okay, so there is also another question here, sir, coming from Ma'am Jennifer Carillo. I think this is going to be addressed to Sir Cloy and the company. Does Odilo gonna provide e-class record? Hello, Sir Cloy. Does Odilo have
Yes,
electronic
actually,
class record?
I actually for that, ma'am, actually so far there's none. But in the Odelo application or features, there is a sort of kind of features and functionalities that you would like to check if the student is present, if the student is late, if the student is not around. There is features and functionalities, but we need to double check. Actually, that will be the first version with our virtual classrooms come up within this week. Most probably we will be gonna sit down with the technical people from CTU, including Sir Engelbert, to check if it is the thing that they are looking for. Kasi sa amin, ma'am, we have a different identifications as well. Some people are here in CTU are currently using a different LMS. And then, guys, I would like to ask, don't try to compare from the other LMS and the other LMS. In reality, there's no such perfect LMS. And then we would like to ask, kindly clear your mind na ano yung nasa isip natin ngayon, yan yung ini-expect natin. Which is, we need to adjust and we need to adapt. Actually, yun yung pinaka main goal. Okay, so, but for regarding the E-class po, ma'am, we will check the functionalities. Actually, there's a way to check if you would like to check the attendance, the late, and also
But not the class record, sir. The inputting of the raw scores like that. It's not like that.
Actually, yes. Actually, there is already the inputting of grades at the same time kasi you can already uh, uh, export the data coming from the students as well, the activities, the performance, because there is an embedded analytics already inside.
Okay. So I think there's also another, thank you very much, Sir Cloy. There's also another additional question that you can answer. During quizzes, yes, sir. Who would like to interject?
Dr. Binoliro.
Dr. Benolina, sir. Sorry, sir. Sige, sir.
We would just like to take note, no, for everyone for this LMS. LMS is not only for synchronous; it's also asynchronous. When we talk about asynchronous, students can interact with your class, with your club anytime, anywhere. So it would not matter about the attendance. In fact, attendance can be done in virtual conferencing. So we have this for the information of everybody. We in the technical working group with our director Kamasora that we use Zoom as the video conferencing, but you can also integrate there in the video conferencing Google Meet, since we have our G Suite. So it's a matter of how you manage your class in the LMS. If you want to check the attendance of your students, you can check that during your video conferencing. That's real time. That's what we call synchronous. But when you talk of asynchronous, all your modules being uploaded in your class can be accessed by your students anytime, anywhere if they have the internet, and even they can download so that when they don't have the internet connection, they can also work on your modules. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So as I mentioned earlier, there are two additional questions that would be, I think that could be addressed by Sir Chloe. The first one, ako lang ihatag ang two questions, sir. The first one is, during quizzes, can the teacher able to view the IP address of the students? That's the first question. And the second question is, if the teacher is using the mobile app, will it also function as a similar, would it also provide a similar function to that of a moderator so that the teacher can monitor their classes? Sir
Okay, thank you
Chloy.
for the question.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
for the number one question is we would like to locate the IP address that will be subject for the what we call data privacy law. We not be careful the locations because we're not a GPS provider
Okay.
for that. So it's very impossible for us to locate, but there's a but there to make sure because you want to make sure that is the students from your class. Basically, all the students cannot access the digital platform nor the virtual classroom without the Gmail account or the G Suite account from CTU. So basically, the one that can only be access, ay yung makapag-access is the one who officially enrolled to CTU. But in terms of location, you want to locate the student's location. It is not part of our. Actually, we will be subjected for the data privacy for that because you locate the person's location is not allowed anymore. The second question is regarding about the mobile apps. Actually, yes, yes. What you can have done in the web format or make a web browsing, still you can do as well into the mobile app as well.
Okay, sige. Salamat, Sir Chloy. Can we ask another, there's a participant who's raising her hand. Roma, I will now allow you to raise your question. Is this a Ma'am Roma Anoos? Hello? Okay, if Ma'am Roma is not around, then let's proceed to another question in the QA box. There's a question about from anonymous attendee. Ang pangutana niya is if the modules or the manuals are just taken from different platforms and platforms or books, pwede ba daw gihapon magamit siya as one of the references in the course? So I think it was already answered na, Sir Cloyna, but you can elaborate on this.
Actually, po ma'am, for that, for Odilo, we have a functionality and features that anyone can upload their content. But
Okay.
there's a but again. I think Dr. Pilapil is reiterating this one that we must be very careful about uploading any contents coming from unverified or unchecked by the academic from the curriculum management team because as we go online we need to maintain as academic standards and academic integrity kasi most probably baka hindi na check. That's why this the reason why I think I get the point already why you are aligning or unifying your syllabus para lang ma-check everything is clear with the whole team. So we must be very careful. Sa amin man wala pong problema to upload and to download those materials in our platform. But we need to be guided by the policies and guidance by the academic department sa amin po.
May I
Okay, sir.
interject?
Yes,
May I
yes, Sir
interject?
Pilapil. Okay, Dr.
Just to
Pilapil.
point out, we have to be very careful with plagiarism. Now, I understand we have lots of notes that we have been gathering since time immemorial when we started teaching, and you might have forgotten the source. So you have to verify that prior to its uploading. We have to be very responsible. And then there is what we call academic honesty and academic integrity. Okay, that's the thing that's the emphasized by Sir Lloyd. And just like, for example, if you're going to have a picture Now see to it that on the page where the picture is there, there should be the link below the picture. Okay, that's what that was my presentation. Like re-civilize yourself. When I said that in my book, it has to be there immediately below the picture, and at the same time, you have to put that in the bibliography. Okay, so
Okay.
that's the idea. That's one thing. No, that's one thing. You have to verify, cross validate the integrity of the material that you are going to share.
All right,
And
Sir
it has to be
Edwin.
decided. It has to be decided by the committee, by the cluster assigned to do that. Okay.
Mm,
So it's not only one person that's going to decide, because you have to come up with a common syllabus and a common package. Only when you would want to enrich, that's your secret. I would like private, if I may call it private.
mm.
Information that you would want to add to enrich, but that is again controlled by Odilo.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Okay, thank you very much, sir. So are we trying, this is how I understand the answer of Dr. Pilapil in the context of the question raised earlier. So I take it that the output of this webinar is for us to create course packs, correct? Course packs, but that there would be identified people to head or to spearhead specific assignments. So
Yeah.
once these course packs are created, then these are all uploaded in the Odilo na, sir.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So if that is the case, will these course packs be provided also to all those faculty handling the same courses, so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
these faculty will just like copy na lang the course
Yeah,
packs that
yeah,
were
yeah, yeah,
created by
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. That
Ah,
will be
okay, okay.
provided to all. That's why we
Mm,
have
all right.
this unification of everything, the
Mm,
material, and as well as that basic minimum requirement should be the
okay.
standard, if I may call it, should be there as a minimum requirement. Because there are also other faculty who would want to enrich, because that particular faculty has made his own material and it cannot be uploaded to the general public in the meantime, since it's not yet being protected by the copyright. So we
Mm,
cannot also blame the faculty not to share. Okay, because he has to protect his copyright until, because if we're going to do that, maybe others will claim it. So that's a protection for his intellectual property right. Okay,
okay,
but the
sir.
moment it will have its copyright, then that will be the time he has to share to the entire CTU family. Okay,
Mm,
thank you.
okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. There's a question here from an anonymous attendee. Will Odilo or can Odilo provide test banks for the books that the faculty will use? So I think, Sir Chloe, test banks,
For the
because
test bank po, ma'am. Yes, yes. Thank you for the question po. So
uh,
for the test bank, we cannot provide, but on top of that, all books that you have been put it into virtual classroom, you can automatically create exercises, tasks,
mm,
at the same time annotations if you would like to ask the students to further do research or further do a reflection about this topic, so you can do create. But in terms of test bank, wala po tayo pang ganun.
okay. Thank you very much, Sir Chloe. There's another additional question for you to answer, Sir Chloe. Regarding, this is from Mamay Kabinge, regarding submissions of projects, assignments, or activities like portfolios or terminal reports. Will Odilo have a bin for this, for like so that Odilo could archive these submissions or something like
Yes,
that?
yes, yes. Yes po,
Mm-mm.
ma'am. Yes,
So
yes.
may facilities si Odilo na ganyan.
Yes, there is po. Everything had been uploaded into the platform from the virtual classroom to the digital library. It will be archived. It will be saved automatically. And then even though yung mga classes niyo po na natapos na within the semester and then you want to have it reactivate by the following semester, pwede din po yun i-reactivate. Hindi nyo na po kailangan gumawa. As per to the quizzes, exercises, everything will be archived. Nandun
Hindi
po sila.
mawawala ang
Yes po.
effort ng teacher.
Yes po, and meron po tayong audit trails and audit logs dito. Naka-save po yan lahat.
Okay. So we're talking of the kanang reservoir in the Odilo, not the Google Drive.
Yes,
So
yes po,
Odilo
ma'am.
talaga.
Yes. Yes
Okay,
po.
okay. Sige, salamat, sir. There's another question coming from an anonymous attendee. Uh, how is the in faculty attendance being monitored through Odilo or through the LMS? So I don't know who will answer this question or
Actually, for the attendance form, it's the administrator. They want to check. Kasi si administrator po yung makakita po lahat ng activities, especially for the teachers. Si moderator po. No, no, the administrator. Sorry, the administrator. There is an administrator.
administrator for the Odilo, sir?
Yeah, no, administrator from the NMIS or from the Sir Engelbert, how to manage for this one. Yes po. Hi, Sir Johannes is here.
Sige, sir,
Sorry,
sir.
I'm back.
Jokams.
Sorry. Ako pang ipasakay
Welcome
sa
back,
barko
sir.
mga
Sige.
tao gikan sa kamotes. So I'm back. With that question, with the attendance, we all know the requirement of the COA auditing rules and regulation, and also the civil service. So Aduilo could provide us audit trail as to log of whatever you perform as faculty and student performance using the platform, but we are still required to continue doing the DTR online. So that DTR online will be facilitated throughout the university na by September 1. So as of now, we all know that only main campus is using the DTR online facility. We are still provisioning servers from the external campuses aligned with their online enrollment. So with the timelines that we are fast tracking, hopefully by September 1, amo pang gi-upgrade ang server sa online kay napay muhinay nga sa main ra. So how about kung magamit na throughout the university? So we are preparing that provision that could really cater all of us, including part-time, that we will be having a central DTR for all by September 1. We are still coordinating with the chairman, deans, campus director to that effect as an output of the mandate of the MANCOM. Last time we have the MANCOM. So with attendance, required par gyapon ta mag DTR printout. So that Odilo audit trail will form part as an additional objective evidence if ever there are concerns for verification with regards to DTR issues later on.
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
salamat, Sir
Sir Joe Comes,
Jokams.
if I may interject,
Mm.
Ma'am Gador,
Sige, sir. Sige,
uh,
sir.
if I may ask Sir Joe Comes, that will also ensure the concerned head, no, of or chairperson that that particular faculty is really holding classes. Is that so, Sir Joe
Yes.
Comes? In Odilo.
Yes, sir.
So we can
If
monitor in Odilo.
yes, if
Okay.
ever
Okay.
you could, they could try to look back with the approved proposal. The flexible learning setup, it's not only pure IT. There are roles that we need to perform collaboratively with MIS, with deans, with campus director, with regards to performance monitoring and learning efficiency throughout across all campuses.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
with regards to attendance, the nature of responsibility down the line is still there because anybody that is signing the DTR as immediate head still liable whatever the claims of their subordinates to that
Thank
Okay.
you.
effect. Thank you, sir.
Sir Joe Camps, this is a rejoinder lang to that question, sir. It is possible that the faculty would log in the DTR on that particular day, but in the Odilo, for example, the activities are all asynchronous. So there is no virtual meeting with the teacher and the students on that particular day. However, the teacher logged in the DTR. That would be fine, right? Because it might necessarily
Yes, yes.
synchronous all the time.
Yes, that once everything is coordinated and synchronized with whatever daily activity being
Program.
noted or remarks with your syllabus, although it is unified in nature with the content, but there is still academic freedom with the faculty or the professor on how to handle specific subtopics on a given time. So yes, it's okay. You can DTR because you are now on the preparation for the next webinar. It's all right.
All right. Okay. Salamat kay sir. There is a question. I think this will be addressed to Sir Apelapil. Uh, this has still something to do with the format, sir, because earlier you mentioned that it's okay that we give our faculty some room for creativity in the presentation of the course packs. Pero will there be a template good that will be issued, or format that will be issued by the office, by your officer, in terms of the landscape ba nga paper, or the font type, or the para ma-approved siya sa committee, and then yeah, and some other materials
For
like syllabus, for
Okay.
example.
For syllabus, we already have that standard memorandum regarding the standard format. For portrait, that is for lecture, and then landscape, that's for shop and laboratory. We have been doing it. Okay. So the one that is to be approved will be the syllabus. Okay. I mean, we have the signatory for signatories for the syllabus, Dr. Camelio, Dr. Haka, Dr. Sayabok, and Dr. Pineda. But then for the material, as I've said, I see the variety, and I see how creative the faculty, that particular faculty or group of faculty, preparing one course syllabus. So it would not be boring on the part of the student to have this same flow. I suggest you can have your creativity for as long as you'll be guided by the presentation that I gave
On the
this
format.
morning, regarding there should be a preface, there should be the preliminary pages, the body, and also the reference pages. Because if it is complete, uh, let us say, package that can be credited, that's for your purpose. You will be given credit later on in your NBC 461. That's the
Mhm.
purpose. If you just only give the lesson, it is not complete, and the 461 evaluator will not allow it, will not acknowledge it. So at least we have dual purpose. You'll also have to earn something, while you also have to give the best you could for the students. Um, you know, uh, benefit, no, for the students benefit regarding the content, no. And then in the body, meaning in the instructional processes, I would like you to focus on the four, so that it will be very simplified, no, following the CLOs and the ILOs that you will identify. So you'll have the preparation. You do not forget to put preparation good. Whatever is your first phrase, put that in close parenthesis, preparation mo. To ang lang attention ni Sir Quintanar. I would appreciate it if there is what we call, if I may repeat what I said a while ago, that there should be your own way of saying it, and then you will have to place open and close parenthesis, preparation. And the next, presentation. Then third, practice. And then fourth, performance. Yun lang. And of course, your separate quizzes. That will be in separate bank, of course.
So the four P's have to be present.
Have to be
Okay.
present.
Yes, thank you very much, Sir Pilapil. There's another question from Dr. Galindo. What will happen for students taking an online exam, and in the middle of the exam, there would be an accidental interruption of signal or internet? So will the question in the middle of exam, will the question in the middle of the examination still be able to be answered? Can they still proceed? So I think this is for Sir
Technical,
Chloe.
please. Technical.
Technical, oo.
Or
Kung
maybe
maputol, kung
Joy.
maputol, because there is a possibility that you will run out of data, or what, there would be some interruptions in along the way. Sir
What's the insight
Chloe.
coming from the
Uh,
technical? And
I,
maybe
I'm
Ma'am Joy Tomol. Sige.
um, Sir, ako una.
Sige, sir.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
With regards to connectivity, if they have already received the preferred telecom network that they are choosing, and they have tried that connection, with regards to load data package, wala na say problema, because all CTU website, including fls.ctu.edu.ph, is a free data rated website. So as long as you have the Cebutec 600 for Globe and Cebutec 600 for PLDT account, all CTU domain access are free data rated. So there would be no issue with regards to nahurot ang load. As long as imo signal di maputol, na lang kay kurente sa bahay, those are the two factors that might interrupt exam. Not unless or possibly giibot sa plug. That's beyond our control for that effect.
sir.
So with the intervention, I could may refer to Cloyd or other technicalities if ever those
Maputol jud.
mentioned factors o naputol jud. Okay.
Thank you, Sir Jokams.
Regarding yes po. Regarding on that one po. For example po naputol yung klase, for example, hindi na students na-burn out or something, electrical interruptions. As you can see po sa virtual classroom namin, we have a chat box. Meron pong online chat doon. I think it is to consider din sa teachers na I have this report that I have due to the due of slow internet connections or electrical interruptions. So basically, he will just notify directly the teacher as well. So maybe kung may quiz sila at that time, kasi po dito sa Odilo kasi sa virtual classroom, pag na-set on that time, automatically, once na-lapse na yung time, hindi na po ma-take yung quiz. So kailangan i-notify si teacher or si professor na i-reactivate yung quiz na yon kasi meron pang hindi nakapag-exams. Actually, dito naman po sa Odilo, you can just notify naman the teachers. And we're very much assured po sa system namin sa Odilo, if your data currently, you can access the Facebook page or the Facebook account, and then still working po yung ano namin, yung Odilo apps namin at saka yung virtual at saka digital library. Kung makapag-open kayo ng Facebook, still you can open the virtual class and also the digital library of Odilo. So ganun po yung kailangan lang din talaga wala naman po sigurong LMS ngayon na for example magpiping po si virtual classroom or si LMS na the students slow bandwidth or connectivity. Kung nasa video conference po sila ma'am, ma-identify naman po ni teacher na mahina yung connection ni students. Kung nasa video conference sila, the teachers can identify that the students having unstable connection. Ma-identify niyo pa.
May I add, Ma'am Gador?
Sir, yes, sir.
Actually, wala ginasya sa LMS, no? But once you make your quiz, motong mo na ako ganyang buntag nga with that particular timeline no sa imong quiz kasi mag-start mahuman, kung mahuman na siya, hindi na makita sa estudyante. But you can have the different modes of communicating your students. You can have group chat and you can even use the group chat of Odilo. So kung gusto ka nga klaro gid nimo nga dili maputol when you conduct the exam, have it video conference no, live na imong mga estudyante, then you can start after imo i-check ang attendance sa video conferencing nga present man ni tanan. So i-present tanan, then you can configure your quiz nga i-start nimo at that particular time so that you are assured that all of them are there when they take the exam.
And they can already take the test until the end. Okay. Sige, salamat kay Sir Benolirao. Sir, Dr. Pilapil, there are some queries actually or need for clarification in terms of the format of the syllabus. Okay, there's one from Dr. Rebucas. His understanding is that all syllabus will be in landscape regardless of whether it's lecture or lab. And this is also rejoined by another attendee's comment. So they want to be clarified though for the format.
We used to have landscape for shop and laboratory. Di ba, Ma'am Heidi? Ma'am Heidi? And then for lecture, portrait gid na siya. Wa na nako giusab. Karaan na siya nga palisi.
Sir, murag
Yes,
one
ma'am.
naman, common naman to ato format sa ISO. Tanan
Is that
naman,
already? Is
tanan
that
naman
already
sa landscape.
landscape tanan?
Landscape
I will verify that with please verify ko nun ni Ma'am Donna, Ma'am Heidi. So
Check lang
that
nato,
can be answered.
portrait, check lang nato, sir.
Gimemo naman to sir, mo to sir. Landscape.
No. The one that is in the memorandum, kato na tong mga the change of college goals to the university goals. Because we are having unified and we could not have different colleges as goal. So that's why Dr. Haka presented that the goals of the college, specific goals of the college will be part of the discussion of the VMGO on the first few weeks or on the first week, okay, for the orientation. But then, and also the next minor change was that of the signatories, since we cannot have different signatories, since we have a unified syllabus, in the signatories will now be changed to the university level, with the request of Dr. Camelio as the language expert there, and then the university staff level staff, we have Dr. Haka, Dr. Sayabok, and Dr. Pineda. So that's the only minor change. These are the only minor changes in the memo. But as to landscape and portrait, that is still to be verified. Now we will have to finalize it. By tomorrow, we can have the answer. We will verify, or maybe later part of the afternoon, Dr. Pineda, just verify it with our document controller. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Pilapil. There are additional questions for Sir Cloy. Still about the quiz, sir. Is there a possibility that a student, another student, will answer a quiz on behalf of a classmate as long as that particular person has access to the personal information, like the account or something? So is that possible? Well,
Yes,
it
yes,
is
it's
possible.
possible. Yes, it's possible.
Mm-mm.
But that's why before we adopt this one, we need also because dito kasi we can prove the what they call the honesty or the integrity of the student.
Right.
That's why we need
Mm-mm.
to it's beyond our control already, ma'am. If the students share his account to his maybe sisters or brother, so most probably he can answer because the as much as possible we would like to detect that it is not the person's using, but we are subject for the data privacy law or we are very much careful on that. So sa system po namin, pag na-share, automatically he can.
Okay. Still about Odilo, sir. So what if the student forgets a password? Will Who will reset it? I mean, is there a
Yes,
help
yes.
desk? There's a
Yes,
help.
yes, sir. Yes po. The first thing first to do, kung nakalimutan po yung, kahit sa username and password or yung credentials yun, nakalimutan nyo, you can just click into the page, forget password, and then automatically Odilo will reset and send you notifications on that how to reset and suggest a new password. Automatically, you can automatically access po again. But kung meron talagang nangyari along the way, the escalation will be talk to your NMIS, and then NMIS will send a ticket ID directly to our office or to our help desk center. There will be a Zendesk po, and then they will automatic response and retrieve for that username and password.
Okay, sir. One more thing, one more question for you
May
also,
I
sir.
ask, Ma'am Gador?
Oh, yes, Sir Benolira.
I think that question was also raised last week, no? As to the we accept the students in our class that they should have this authentic information. I think the very authentic information that we need so that we allow them or accept them in our class online is the ID number, and of course they will be given a CTU account, no? That because we are in the domain. It's not anymore Odilo nga itong makita dito. May mo na siyang CTU LMS. So it's a CTU domain. So all our officially enrolled students, it's a matter of how the teacher will verify the authenticity of the information of our students. So that cannot be given to others nga dili officially enrolled. Pero depende na ano yung pag-monitor, you can have it video conferencing para makita nimo ang iyang ID o iyang CUR, yang ipakita sa video conferencing, ma-verify iya ba ginang naong nga naa sa iyang ID. O sa iyang we can verify that with our class list nga i-provide sa MIS. That's the role of the enrollment nato. So ma-enroll na sila dito, they will be given CUR. We can verify if these students are officially enrolled in this class with their CUR. They can even send their CUR to you, a copy or a screenshot or a picture. Thank you.
Okay, salamat, Sir Benolira. Sir Joe Cabs, there are two questions for you, sir. Hello, Sir Joe Cabs.
Yes, ma'am. Go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah,
I'm listening.
connectivity, sir. Expected ba daw nga ang tanang students will have access to the online class? Basig himuon na po daw excuse ang walay signal sa bukid para they could not participate in the class. And then rejoinder to this question is when will the kits be distributed daw? Okay. That's it, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. With regards to connectivity kits, based on the approved proposal, BOR Resolution 200 Series 2020, all enrolled students will be given that connectivity kit with their preferred telco. So last April 1 to May 15, we do our online flexible learning readiness survey that being participated 21,000 out of the 34,000 based on the enrollment statistics given by the university registrar prior to this proposal to the board. So with that 21%, we have a statistics that 68% is, oh no, 64% is using Globe Telecom Network as their preferred telco, and 36% selected PLDT Smart as their preferred telco out of the 21,000. The remaining numbers that did not participate, we, a suggestion of our BP research to apply the basic statistical treatment as to come up with the basis of the total number, which is 34,000. So all will be provided for that connectivity. So if there are issues now that there are movements from one location to another, for example, at the time they answered the survey, Globe ang ilahang i-answer, then now they are relocated kay na GCQ na, then here comes now the actual location where they are going to stay for the next 6 months that will cover our first semester. It changes their preferred telecom network. We really want to facilitate through the MIS that the browsing experience of the student is our top priority with regards to FLS. Anyway, we could negotiate all the telco, both the smart on mahimo, smart ram gina og Globe as of now. So they are really open into this negotiation as long as we could really make sure that students have considerable bandwidth for the learning of this FLS. To give a quantitative value of how browsing experience for that FLS required in order for students to have their learning experience assured for the next 5 months, we only need 1.5 Mbps for FLS. And together na ang Zoom na to karon. A stable 1.5 Mbps can give us a stable learning connection from your home, being a teacher or a faculty and a student, to the CTU FLS unified server that is provided by the Odelo setup. That's it, ma'am.
Okay, and then the
And
distribution and the of the kit, sir. And is it postpaid
distribution of
but
the
or
kit.
prepaid?
The kits are already delivered, but sad to admit we have some issues with the promise of the smart. But Globe already complied with the full delivery directly to your campus. I think all the campus directors and MI chairmen around on this webinar could attest because they are the one receiving and confirming the delivery. For the main campus, as what I have disseminated with your campus director, because my technical staff are still facilitating the virtual graduation until next week for all Mondays and Tuesdays of the month of August. So we are open for distribution Wednesdays to Fridays, starting August 3. Some are getting, some are not, because there are still things that we need to settle with the supply office because they are not yet properly coordinated with the ICS form. But now that we have settled with the supply office, we are now clear to distribute all colleges by Wednesday for the main campus. You have to
Pero wala
let
pa
your
smart.
wala pa smart, ma'am. I am really on the bad mood of them because they keep on
Wednesday this
promising
week,
us.
sir. Are you talking of Wednesday
Wednesday,
this week?
Yeah,
karong
Globe.
adlaw, ma'am, I am still monitoring because PLDT promised again that they will be delivering to all campuses with their logistics karong adlaw that they would have to catch up by Wednesday. So Wednesday, ma'am, supposed to be naana ang first batch sa PLDT together with the full delivery of the Globe for all campuses. But fingers crossed na sad na siya because I have really having issues with the smart side. So I could not commit, but they already promised that by Wednesday, that would be available also for smart users, the connectivity kit to all campuses. That's
Okay,
it, ma'am.
sir. All right. Thank you very much, Sir Jocams. Ma'am Lynette, are we still going to entertain more questions? Na ay mga additional questions
Yeah,
pa?
I think we still have questions
Yes,
here.
we had, yeah.
Anyway,
May I ask,
Yes,
Ma'am
ma'am.
Gador,
Dr.
siguro
Pilapil.
later, before minutes before the time, for the next activity,
Mm-mm.
pasulti aran niya ako for the generalization of the presentation of the different learning packages. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. So can we just entertain two more questions, sir? Actually, the rest of the other questions are more or less similar naman siya. This one is addressed to the Odilo team. When can Odilo be available, Gidao, or is it possible that it will be available within this week or next, so that the teacher or the faculty could still practice using it, because September 1 is already very near and there is so much to be done on the LMS. So I think this is Sir Cloy's turf now.
Okay, thank you so much po. So actually po, ma'am, as we speak right now, our technical team and our deployment team is working this up 24 by 7. So far, we already received the DNS pointing is configured already 100%. And then now we are configuring the digital library and also the virtual classroom. So most probably within this week, it will be live already po. And then we'll start doing already the mobile application as well. So, actually ma'am, sa amin na site is madali lang naman po ang pag-live activate. But from Cebu going to US to our server, the DNS pointing is mahirap po yung pag-configure. So, basically, kung so far ngayon okay na naman siya. And then we just already still we are subject to further review by the DPA, the Data Privacy Agreement with CTU, kasi kailangan pa po ng approval from the CTU to approve everything as per the agreement from Odilo and CTU. Kailangan po ka tayo mag-bind and legally bind with our data privacy, kasi papasukin po namin yung server ni CTU. So, and then CTU is concerned about that. So that's why we sent already our data privacy agreement. I think Director Kamasura is here. Na-review na naman po. And then we will just wait for the confirmation and approval. So, but for the apps and digital library is already up and running po. So we just notify CTU once it's live already.
Ma'am Gador,
Yes, yes, sir.
joiner lang with the confirmation of the said statement with Floyd. We really need the DNS, the domain names, parang branding lang ng name na instead of odilo.us for the purpose of the question na how to continue practice. Yes, we already given access for odilo.us as a practice test site, di ba? For look and feel, for functionality, for test uploading. Di ba, Cloyd, meron namang access
Maybe
for
they
those
want to create na, sir, their koan. Like, they want to
actual.
prepare na pa. Oo. Like, kasi it will take time.
We will synchronize the uploading on it once unified syllabus will be duly approved. So yan po yung go signal. We could not let anybody automatically upload on it without the without the prior approval and go signal with the BP academic with the template. So if ever the team this is now the timeline. We need to assure that the DNS pointing, the name would be CTU already. That is being promised this week. Once it will be pointing to these are the two domains that we will be looking. Help me check from time to time. fls.ctu.edu.ph. That's for the virtual classroom. And for the digital library, it's elib.ctu.edu.ph. Those are the two browsing. And the last one is the Odilo app, which is you are going to search on App Store and Google Play, which is CTU FLS as the keyword. So those three are the go signal prior to the uploading of the actual content per faculty.
So unless those are not found yet, we cannot proceed to actual upload of our materials.
If those three are not complied, we could not proceed to the actual data that is being set with the coordination of the curriculum development team for the unified syllabus.
Ma'am, Sir Jukams, can you suggest what we have agreed with Sir Edwin last Saturday siguro? If in case na dili pagid siya available ang digital library, we might as well let our faculty to prepare the course packs or the syllabus na lang Kay more magyapon na atong ibutang ang atong time sa atong timeline dito sa course pack sa Udilo.
I-prepare na
Yes.
lang daan.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but we really want to officially well documented the transitioning for the consideration of data privacy. Kay medyo we need to take note our data is in US. So DPA is a no joke to them, and I am the one as your lucky DPO. Ako'y una ana mabukbukan representing the whole CTU domain. So we are a multidisciplinary university, a lot of terminologies that might be conflict with personal information, races, vanity, all those things, mablock o niya atong domain dito because we are not aware of those contentions o mga issues ngayon ana that is not anticipated ba. So I want proper documentation on this. Kami sa Pilapil, nag-istorya nami with the TWG and Odilo on all these things. So mo ni karon ato moving forward. Once ang tulo ka site na ng ipls.ctu.edu, na ng elive.ctu.edu.ph, na nasa ang mobile app, that's the go signal. BP Academic signed by the President will issue a memorandum stating that we are now have a go signal use or actual go live or production site. Audit of QB, Sir Pilapil.
Okay.
Okay, okay, so we're down to the last question, sir. If this is addressed to Dr. Thank you so much, Sir Jocams. Addressed to Dr. Pilapil. Sir Ivan Carlo Corriente is asking what's the update of their incoming OJT and practicumers?
We will have a separate meeting for the OJT coordinators. That will be sometime next week.
Graduation, sir. After graduation.
Okay. Okay, I guess that's it. No? And then one more thing from Ma'am Zarmi, napahabol pa. What types of documents are going to be attached to Odilo? So maybe she's asking on what documents are needed to be uploaded in the Odilo. Who would answer this? Sir Chloe?
Format, are they referring to format that can be acceptable as document unsa nga file?
It's not format, I think, sir. Nangutala siya unsa nga documents are needed to
Regarding
be
what?
attached to Odilo. Probably, I don't know, but Ma'am Zarmi, you may want to just voice out your question. Pwede to i-unmute imuhang self.
Hello, sir. Jokams. Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
Ang mangutana ko, sir, ba kung unsa specifically ang i-attach aside from pato mga e-books. So, unsa especially mga silabay, katong 4Ps ni sir. So, unsa specifically ang isulod na mo?
Mo na siya, ma'am, nga we have this webinar because once na ang unified nga syllabus, that is the minimum requirements. So whatever stated on the unified syllabus, that is the minimum requirements for all of us to upload or to perform. Other than the minimum requirements, yes, with given our academic freedom, we could add our own format, our own course module. Basta minimum requirement na to ang approved nga unified syllabus, katutanan nga mga things to do dito on things to upload, mo to'y kinahanglan i-confirm, ma'am. With regards to format and document, anyway, Odilo is actively within us, with us providing support on anything nga atong ipa-upload. Basta importante lang minimum ang atong ma-unify gyud nga syllabus.
May I come in? May I come in, Sir Joe Comes? Okay lang, Ma'am Gador?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir Joe Comes, not only the syllabus, but also the minimum, let us say, I may call it minimum course pack that is to be workshopped. We'll have the workshop from tomorrow until 25, I think. 25. So the outputs there will be the ones to be part of the uploading in the Odilo. Okay, so the syllabus and the course pack that is to be prepared by the cluster, and then that's the minimum. But then, should a faculty member would also like to have to enrich, then that will be another thing that will be in close coordination with Odilo. How to privately do it when it cannot be shared by others, as mentioned by Sir Engelbert this morning.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Manzarmi. So I think that's it for the questions. Dr. Lynette?
I have to still have something, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am,
Yes, sir. So
this
I'm
is
going to turn you over the
this
floor
is
to
not a
Dr.
question.
Pilapio.
This is not a question, but
Okay.
a sort of a general observation. Like, if I may recall the presentation of Sir Binolirao, I would like to clarify if the word quotes would mean advisory or notification. Diba, in our feature, na i-feature sa Odilo, quotes. Is it because if we are going to use, I do not know why is it quote, it might be misled as a quotation. No? So I would like to know if that is advisory to the students or notification to the students. So simply, if I may suggest, if that's the idea, then we simply change quote to advisory, or we simply change quote to notification. Is it Sil Binuliraw to answer, or maybe Sir Cloyd about it?
Actually, sir, ang codes is already built-in na sa ilang platform, no? But that can be, your suggestion can be taken by Sir Cloyd. But in my understanding sa ilang platform, because I'm using also Google Classroom and Schoology, no? They have also this what we call codes. But when we talk of codes manggod sa ila, sa Odilo, ilan lang gi-refer. Ang imong mabutang, ang mong come up itong codes are coming from your textbook nga nasa digital library. So if you're going to read that, i-click to
Okay.
nimo, makita to
Okay.
nimo na kay mga annotations. Those annotations, then mabutang ka ditong mga annotations, say this paragraph imong i-highlight, nyamiyong ka, please read this and take some notes. All those annotations nimo gawas ito sa imong class o sa imong club. So makita to sa
Okay.
tanang mga estudyante as a reminder. Muna
Okay.
i-given sa ilang.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So it's really a quote. It's really a quote. Lifted from the e-library.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Sige. Thank you. And then another thing, just to clarify also, statistics, what is inside statistics? Maybe I missed that. What is inside statistics as one of the features?
Sir Cloyd, can you answer? Or I will be the one to answer.
Ikaw, actually, sir, for the stat, ako na lang, sir. For the stat, sir, for example, di ba, as a professor, as a teacher, we put some, for example, the course pack, the teaching materials, the content or the ebooks that we put into our virtual class. And then, as a professor, as a teacher, we would like to check if those reading materials or those contents have been accessed or read by the students. So, specifically, each activities, you can automatically see doon sa stat po. So, si student, he spends on this particular book uh, 1 minute and then he reads this one and then he just the activity this one. So basically from the professor's perspective or the teacher's perspective, you can already identify that's why the students is slower or having a low performance because for all those activities that you are inputs inside the virtual classroom, he or she doesn't even bother to read the materials. He doesn't even comply those assessments. So automatically, you can track already the performance of the students.
So we can monitor. So it's also
Yes.
part of the monitoring.
Yes,
Okay.
of course, the
That is
activity.
considered as the Sir Cloyd, that's the learning analytics of the platform.
Yes, correct.
Data analytics.
I was thinking that the percentage is like 20% for the quiz, 10% for the oral recitation, as it's also part of it. It's different story.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's part. It's still part. Okay. So, naaday gamayng electronic class record if that's the case, no? Kay makabutang
Yes.
man ta dito certain percentages.
What we call grade book na siya sa other nga mga
So that's the question a while ago on e-class record.
Yes, actually sir, yun
Siguro.
yung response ko kanina na we have functionality and features similar to e-class card but I don't know how kasi sir in the Philippines kasi in our in the Europe we define it differently so sometimes ito yung sabi ni this is the e-class card that we have
But pagdating dito, oh, hindi yung hinahanap namin. This is, ito yung sinasabi ko. So, yun po. So, sometimes we have a...
Yeah, for the faculty to know, no, nga naa-add
Yes,
na
sir.
siya. To have peace of mind, no?
Apa.
Okay, sige. Thank you for that. Now, I've observed I have noted this in the presentation of Dr. Tumol. And also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Quintanar Bato or Dr. Cabico, regarding the hourly allocation of the activities. Now, remember that we have our schedule. We also have to follow our schedule based on the MWF and TTH arrangement. Now, our MWF is 1 hour. Our TTH is 1.5 hours. So if I may suggest for everybody's uniformity, if we're going to give an activity, like especially a synchronous activity, make it 1 hour. Do not make it 2 hours or 3 hours. Like I understand there is a conference to be done 3 hours. What will happen to the other faculty who is next to your subject? Because the faculty is also going to follow the time slot. Mura lang gihapon ga klase ni sa kuan sa kanana ang physical arrangement. The only thing is the class is going to happen during the time allotted to her or to him as scheduled based on the faculty workload. In as much as if we are going to have our own time without considering the time of other faculty, that might be in conflict with other classes. And there was in one of the policies there in our FLS, it's pointed out that the faculty handling day program cannot even go to the evening program. So if you are having classes in the day, you have to do it there as scheduled, and you also have having classes in the evening, you also do it in the evening, unless there is a special arrangement between the class and the teacher or the professor. Then that will be done without conflicting the schedule. That's the thing that I would like to point out. So see to it that your activities will not go beyond 1 hour, especially asynchronous activity. Or maybe if it's synchronous, then you will have the forum. The forum should only be good for 1 hour, whether MWF or TTH. That's my suggestion. So please take note the moment you are going to revise your material, and as well as those who still have to come up with the material tomorrow until 25th. Okay, so that's good. No, I appreciate Dr. Tumol's presentation to separate the teacher's guide from the student activity.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So that the teachers, it's not only Dr. Tumol who is going to use this material. It will be used by the entire university, and there are many faculty members handling the same subject, the same course, so they can easily follow. So wala na pangutan anay, no? Marabag, we will not give our other faculty members a chance to ask questions because everything is clearly presented. So that's the thing, no? And then there's a question there. I do not know if I'm correct with this, Dr. Quintanar. You can say something about this. When you say that you are hesitant to upload to the Odilo because this is a compilation or a compendium. Um, if we are going to just have a good uh, source, rather citation of different sources, I think it is not dangerous because we acknowledge where we got the compendium or where we got the components of the compendium or the components of the compilation. It really very dangerous if your compilation does not acknowledge the source. So did I get you right, Dr. Quintanar? Can you say something about it for everybody's
Actually,
information too?
okay, I
Yes,
went to the CR.
sige, Sir
Actually,
Fitz.
the compilations, sir, I got that from different sources, but I really acknowledge, the sources from the books to the different internet sources, sir.
But on a specific, for example, a specific lifted let us say material like a
Yes,
paragraph
sir.
or a statement, why don't we just immediately acknowledge it there? So
Yes,
that
sir. I
is,
also embed in my notes, sir, the source.
di na problema. It's always in making a textbook, that's the idea. No, ikamao lang
Yes,
kang
sir.
mo acknowledge, di ka magka-problema sa
Ah,
plagiarism. There is no
yes, sir.
legal impediment, I assure you
Mm.
with that. Basta sakto ra pod imong pag-acknowledge. Okay?
Yes, sir. I embed the
And by the
sources
way,
per
just a simple reminder, even if you rephrase the original thought and you would claim that the way it is being spoken kay imong in English, imuhang in English, that's another story. That is still plagiarism. Do not consider it as yours. No, you have to acknowledge. You would say according to the inagikan. Yeah, you rephrase it in your own words because you would want it to be simplified. Remember, the original idea is not yours. Acknowledge the original author. Maoragid na siya. Okay. So proper documentation is the idea, is the thing here. Proper documentation so that we have no problem with plagiarism. Kay usahay man kod ma-misquote bitaw, naaman to'y misquotation, mao na maka-plagiarism kay na misquoted. By the way, it's a matter also of understanding, comprehension. Na sorry no, usahay man god maybe naatay laing pagsabot nya mao na nga the original idea is distorted kay wa na to masabti original idea. So mao sa risk of committing plagiarism because if you misquote, that is plagiarism. Okay, and if you are going to have a misrepresentation of maybe kanabitang altered misrepresentation of information, that's also what we call plagiarism. No, there are kinds of plagiarism, and then maybe I can share tomorrow if I could. It's in my book. It's in my book. Okay, these are the only three that I could remember, but there are kinds of plagiarism. Sige. I understand Dr. Kabiko was mentioning 4-hour conference outside of the schedule. So, well, if it's outside of the schedule, if it does not in conflict with other students, mura ba to online? I mean, physical gihapon ba nga? Okay, we will have a special class. Now, we have to agree among ourselves that this special class, the schedule will not be in conflict with other classes that you have enrolled. So we have to do that. But again, to be safe, going back, mas maayo that it's good. It's just good for 1 hour. Kay di taas na pod kaayo, no? Kapuyo na sa mga bata kay online ra ba ni. Man tatog nag-conference ka nga naa ka sa tubangan kay sayon ra nimo pag sigas imong mata nganong natulog ka diha. So I guess ang atong attention span, adults, teenagers and the new millennials, the millennials rather, let's just have 1 hour. I think that's the comment. That,
sorry.
by the way, another thing, sorry. Katubitang explanation ni Dr. Quintanar, I also appreciate that, no? Katubitang ang iyang mga exams are based from or exposed to, the students are exposed to the style of the licensure or professional, sana licensure, what is LPT by the way? Licensure, licensed professional teachers, but that's
Teachers.
yeah, that's LPT rather. So meaning PRC, the PRC, we have to also consider the kind of test that the PRC is giving. So orient, especially those mga review or board courses, if we may call it board courses, engineering, psychology, marine engineering, sa pamalain nga board courses, agriculture, fisheries, education. I think I have, yeah. These are the board courses that CTU is offering. See to it that your activity or the summative tests, no? Kaya naghatag naman mo mga formative tests, series of practice tests. Then you can also have, ano, and by the way, when we say not recorded sa DepEd, ang kanang mga formative tests, not recorded. Pero sa ato rong style, if we are going to go back to our percentile allocation, I think it could be part of the 10%. Diba? Our quizzes is 60% divided by 20%. So class standing is 60%. I'm referring to lecture. 20% is intended for quizzes, 10%, sakto ba? 10% is intended for oral presentation, if I'm not mistaken, or 30% quizzes, then 20%, rather 10% oral recitation and 20% project. Mao ba to? Yun ana ang arrangement. If I am correct, let us revisit that. So maybe katong 10% appeal to ang formative assessments. Anyway, it's 10%. If I may, ano. So it's part of the policy later on. Magsabot pa ta ni ana. Okay, magbuhat ang policy and memorandum regarding that. Okay. So, what else? I think that's all. Thank
Sir
you.
Edwin, sir,
Ma'am, hi. Ma'am, hi.
na-queries ka ng ask ko, unsa day way sa pagkuha sa mga faculty handling the subject sa in terms sa unified syllabus?
Unsa to, ma'am? Pagkuha sa faculty.
Gusto na ang mga maestra karon na may mga load no gihatagan mag-tentative load, so gusto na ta sila mutan-aw sa unified syllabus, so unsa may ato itubag ani?
Okay. Na-forward na makanato ni Sir Joe Cams ang katong mga silabay nga nabuhat na, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Sir Joe Cams, unsaon man na Sir Joe Cams, ikaw kuno itubag or
Yes.
maybe Sir
Yes.
Sir Cloyd, sige. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, I confirmed ako na siyang na-receive through access with Ann Bilaganas with the Google Drive. So, the way we share it to the faculty, once i-go signal ako nimo sir, nga i-share na ni sa maestra, what are we going to do is, dito sa organization na to, sa CTU G Suite nga account, ako ni i-share throughout the whole organization nga faculty. Or gusto mo, ato ni i-group ang faculty, kinsay faculty or ato lang i-open niya, sila lang mo pick.
I thought makita na siya diha sa Odilo.
So na understanding.
Na masud sa Odilo. Dili.
Ang makita na siya, sir. Ang una to karon, if we're going to go through the unified syllabus in Word format, we can at this early stage, after minutes of the webinar, we could share this na maalaw ang tanang member nga na email nga CTO dito sa Google Drive. That's first thing.
Okay, may I come in? Sorry. I'm sorry to cut you short. May I come in? Is it possible those who attended now can have that one as part of their, di ba, attendance, nag-register sila, nag-evaluate sila, pwede ba ang in response mahatag na nila? Dili pod? Or it will take effort.
Okay ra sir. We will ask Odilo technical team to get to give me the list of participants now. Then they are the one be receiving the copy on Word format of the files of the unified syllabus that I had received yesterday. Pwede ana sir.
So aron mahibaw-an pod o kinsa tong campus nga wala rather kinsa tong nga cluster nga wala makasubmit, ako pa nang memohan.
Pwede sir, with your
mas maayo,
office. We are just waiting for the go signal.
Once, because it's already, I already instructed, we had a special meeting also with Dr. Pineda and the rest of the curriculum people that we will now be forwarding it to Sir Kamasura so that it will be uploaded. I think it will be uploaded to Odilo and it can easily be accessed by the faculty who is going to handle a specific course. For example, if a particular course in marine engineering, then that particular faculty handling that particular course in marine engineering can look into that unified syllabus, although sara na siya, or di lang marine engineering, education for example, katong 3110, kay common magitong education across different campuses. So makita na to sa handle ng pananglitan Camotes campus na siya faculty si Ma'am Lourdes Baron is handling 3110, makita na ni Ma'am Lourdes ang syllabus. So posible ingon ana atong arrangement.
Pero Sir Edwin, ang ang atong mga files sila by sir kay kutob ra ba to sa prepared by ang signature. Ang
okay lang usa. Okay lang usa ma'am because we agreed.
Basta we agreed nga dili na siya authentic kay kutob ra prepared by, so para aware po ng atong mga faculty members.
We agreed nga dili sa nato signan tungod kay once we sign we already approve, and once we approve ang nasayop na approve na nato kinaamang gyud na niya. As I've said, subject pa man guna for polishing, no? But for purposes lang of ano assurance nga niagi na dinha, siguro unsa man ato pagpaagi, unsa may atong code, unsa atong code, Sir Joe Cams, nga mag-ingon nga niagi na ni, I mean gipasta na go signal, mao na ni siya ang unified. Basig na niya lain syllabus nga ipakita from other faculty niya, mo ingon mo claim nga mao ni ako ang unified, naglibog na ang maestra. So
yes,
how?
sir. If ako sa okay, sir.
Yes.
Inani ang paagi, sir. Once we shared it with Google Drive, doon na siya timestamp kung di nagikan ang original nga dokumento. So bisan og i-save as pa na nila, we can trace that's original document nga ilang gi-save as gikan na diha nato sa ato ang gi-share karon, gi-share ninyo nako nga naa na nako karon nga access. So what I'm going to do after this webinar for the faculty to access using their CTU email account, ang buhaton ko na, sir, ako na i-channel sa ilang MIS. So as to what specific subject they are handling, nga kinsay mo determine ana, ang MIS ana mo akong tagaan og direct access as editor ani nga file. With that given access, ang tanan nga maestra o maestro per campus will request a copy through that shared access given by the MIS para di ta magpundok tanan, para matrace nato nga authenticity sa original document. Why labot copy paste ta?
Can I suggest,
sir, di ako sang point kanang as I sorry no, pwede ba kana diri nga ako nahibaw-an ba nga there are other MIS in charge from other campuses sorry, who are not that very active, niya. Basin dito siya dito siya ma-crippled. If I may suggest, at the same time, dili pwede ang mga cluster head. So that the cluster head, ang cluster head mo hatag sa dito sa mga tao sa other kay the cluster is represented man by campuses, I think.
Your suggestion is well taken, sir. At least wala na igambuhat kuan ako mga tao. Okay kayo na. It's a welcome offer.
Pero ako rin ang suggestion, pero what I mean, if you can assure us nga all
I cannot assure you, sir.
Mao lagi.
So sila mo kung i-claim, there are issues. Yes, I admit there are MIS that are not doing such things because campus directors are really important in doing all these things. Kay medyo na yung mga situlunon internally, sir, that I would no longer discuss on this venue para naa sila yung munang sila mo supporter ba something ana.
Naalang ko, sige. Ani lang, sir, akong i-retract to be, pwede na ako ilain. Mas siguro, can we mobilize our campus deans of instruction?
Exactly,
Mas siguro, si campus dean of instruction mo may mag-focus sa academic matter, whatever the programs are, para automatic kay aron.
Yes, sir.
May campus deans of instruction.
What will happen now, sir, with your suggestion, if it will be taken and approved by the group, inani ang mitabo. Ang originator ani nga file, sir, we will maximize the usage of the Google Drive. Ang originator ani nga file is Ma'am Ann Villegas, right?
Villeganas.
Given access to me for distribution. So with this suggestion and development, what will we do next is we will get the email address or those CTU email of all the DUI per campuses. Then we'll be given access to that file in order to maintain the authenticity of that forwarded file for traceability purposes. That will be the next thing to do.
Kaya ang atong paninglan si ODI kung na DOI rather, no?
And so, it should be.
Paninglan nato si DOI kung ano nga wa ni siya ma-disseminated. Iyan ang responsibility.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay, so I'll issue a memorandum regarding this.
Ridwin, can I suggest?
Yes, sir. Engelbert.
In addition to Sir Johannes, since we have this G Suite, the Google Drive, that can be shared as to the expertise of the by specialization. They can share their for the enrichment of the syllabus. But as of the moment, since it's not yet up ang Odilo library, because we will be dependent on the references in the digital library. I would like to suggest that the requirement of the unified syllabus should be done once the digital library of the CTU LMS is up and that can be accessed. So still we have in our calendar that we still have 2 groups for the hands-on training of the Odelo. I think after that or the rest of the participants last week can start already on coming up with their course pack. However, the references is not yet realistic because we don't have the digital library. But once up the digital library, we can start coming up with our unified syllabus and that can be shared in the Google Suite. So dili na siguro nato ma-pressure karon sir ba kay kanang wala pa man gud ang digital library. Mabito to nagpadali po ni Sir Lloyd because present ko akong sample course pack. So mo to dili to siya ingon nga realistic itong references ito kay pa man ko wala pa man ang digital library by program provided by Odilo. So once nga nanana siya, I think it's really a must that we have to kanang streamline with our syllabus, and once nga ang mga experts in different programs will suggest through the Google Drive katong ni Sir Jukams nga ma-share siya ang file and they can suggest on the enrichment of the syllabi. Once it's already final, that's a time that will be issued memorandum na that this should be the unified syllabi by program.
A moment. That will be taking so much of our time if we will be out of our schedule if we are going to wait for the digital library when the syllabi are already
this week
done.
man promise sir sa Odilo.
Humanaman ang syllabus. Humanaman ang syllabus.
But
ang akong point is,
yes sir.
Sir,
Sir.
ang akong point is nanama ang syllabus no. Kani si digital library ako na nang understanding ha can enrich our references later on.
Yes, sir.
Pero
fact,
may mga references ga-identify ang mga preferred references ga-identify ang mga faculty. So
yes,
so that the faculty I don't know if this will work granting no na anak ko'y parangitan sa chemistry nya ang akong preferred author mao ni nya human wa diha sa wala diha sa e-library sa Odilo, but because we have already made our unified syllabus for a particular chemistry laboratory subject or course, magbuhat na mi tomorrow kay di man mi kabuhat ugma kung wala mi syllabus, kung wala mi if we are going to wait for that no. So magbuhat na mi sa activity unya i-enrich lang siya the moment atong i-compare ba atong tan-awon kung naa ba sa Odilo later on. So but then kanang sa Odilo nga reference will only reinforce but not the meat of it kay di takahuman.
Yes, sir. But I will go back to what you're saying that when we talk of unification in the CTU LMS using the Odilo platform, we are referring to the digital library provided by Odilo. References sa atong course pack. Kaya dili man ta makabutang og reference diha nga wala sa digital library, or else you can do an enrichment. But you're talking about unified. This is what is being suggested by Dr. Disim last week that as much as possible, if you are teaching English 1 all over the university, you will have the same reference from the Odilo library or from the CTU library, digital library. That is what we meant by unification on the references. But with personal materials coming from the faculty in his or her class in the LMS, that is what we call enrichment na kay kanang iya naman tong prepared nga materials mo to niya gi-share sa digital library o sa virtual classroom. Thank you, sir.
Sorry ha, I might as well be speaking for the faculty. Basin. I mean, it might not be the same thought that I am thinking about right now, pero magubot ato mga faculty aning kalakihan kay naghatag naman ta o go signal nga you have to make your syllabus and dugay na kaayo atong usang Agosto pa na atong syllabus gihimo. In fairness to those who made it punctually and then who also submitted it last September, August 29 as the deadline. no, unya karon maguba na din ang syllabus na pod kay maghuwat data sa e-library. Ang akong point is mao tong ingon ko nga we will not touch anything, even ang pag-English sa inyo ang syllabus, even ang kanang nagkadaghan kaayong nga kana bitang course outcomes. In fact, I was even rather reminding, or I was even suggesting to Dr. Haka na di lang kaayo nato istriktuhon karon kay masuko gina nato. We have to also understand, no, masuko nato ang mga tao. So I
Yes, sir.
said ato lang i-expose ang mga tao aron ma-ready sila sa shift later on, because the complete shift will be for second semester. Now, we are not having a complete shift, especially those, we have to also consider the pace of each and every one of us into this particular kind of modality right now. Ang bagong resistance to change, naamag yun na. Denial to the change that's coming. Naama na. Wala pa man ma-accept sa mga tao. We also have to know the process. So, behaviorally, psychologically, magiyaw-yaw na nato at the back of us, no? So, ang ako lang point, ani, is, mautong, ningon bitaw ko ganina nga, pwede ba ta, di ba, naingon mo ito, maglista ang concerned cluster, maglista sa ilahang possible sources so that we can request Odilo to entertain that and maybe can be part of our library. I guess that's my understanding.
Sir Pilapil.
On sa my response, ani.
Sir Pilapil.
Yes, Sir Jokams.
Yes, Sir Engelbert, that's true. We are not forcing them to unify with the references. How much as much as possible, this is a transition semester for us to give choice. Anyway, Cloyd, with regards to Odilo, promised us they can even provide us the updated 2020. How much more with the later years references that we have now? So yes, I would agree with Sir Pilapil that we are only shifting the mode of teaching. We are not yet shifting the content and quality from the previous ones that we are doing through the years. So whatever content that might be available on the digital library that will be given, that will be part of the 21,000 titles, aside from the requested later on that is already on our unified syllabus, will be an enrichment for future use or for the future curriculum development on the coming semesters. So that would be our agreement, Sir Pilapil, right?
Yes, yes.
So, inani lang siya, Bert, ang karong mga libro nga ma-come up, unsa ang part sa unified syllabus will form part as a unified request for Odelo nga mabutang gina diha regardless unsa na nga year.
Yes, yes. I understand that, Sir Jokams.
Ana lang sa Bert, ayaw di lang sa nato i-insist to use the new updated latest version of anything based on their specialization. That would be for our upcoming curriculum development. That would be an input, but for now, talking reality of what we're going to do for September 1 is we need only to abide with whatever unified syllabus as well as the embedded resource.
Na-mute ka, sir.
So, akong i-part diha, pwesta nga ibutang diha sa digital library. Okay,
So,
Tana?
Yes, sir. I understand, sir. So, what will happen here is that our syllabus na atong i-submit, no, as requirement, don't contain the unified digital library references.
Wala pa yun, sir. Wala pa.
Your own references. Okay. So, I suggest that it should be stipulated in the memorandum so that since we have two groups already last week that are using already the platform, so they can make and they can even use the digital library. But once it is up, I think I would like to suggest that we can modify later on, because there are references in the digital library that that can be useful in our class.
Okay, so if I may also come in, I agree with Sir Binolirao nga when it is possible to incorporate the new set of e-library from Odilo, especially tomorrow until 25, kung nana siya, pwede sa nato i-incorporate. Mas maayo. Pero meantime, kung wala gyud, then we have to have our katong gyud siyang syllabus nga gigamit nato.
Yes, sir.
Ana lang siguro. If we are going to force ourselves, dili ka workshop tomorrow.
Agree
Wala
agree
pa
on
man.
that, sir. Agree on that para natay expectation settings unsa atong mga output on this specific webinar onto this. Kay considering ang uban para ba wala pa ka walkthrough. I know ang uban na daghan kay mga side ideas for those that already participated the 3-day seminar, a webinar. But for those nga wala pa nga napa sila sa other groups of specialization, we might consider also the options of such using the existing nga mga sources for the references, sir. Para ana na lang atong mahimo. We can move forward for tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah. Regarding guys sa tomorrow pod ba, kung dili sa day nato i-share karon ang syllabus bitaw Sir Jokams kanana nimo, kanang dili sad ka workshop ugma. Di ba din ko sa din of instruction, ako lang i-check siguro.
Ako lang ma-share din, sir. In 3 clicks, i-share ko ni tanan.
Ako lang pangutanon ha. Naabang ang campus nga Dean of Instruction. Can you please raise your hand or say something?
Na sila suggestion, sir, sa chat box. Can we please facilitate on that, on their suggestion?
Okay, what is it?
Kaning kang Dr. Carion? Kaning kang Dr. Carion, sir?
What is it what's the suggestion in the chat box? Pwede mabasa?
I-unmute, miss, ang question.
Ako yung mute or
na ako no sa chat box. What is it?
I can read from the chat box, sir. Dr. Carion, can you hear me?
Yes.
I suggest that for the meantime, i-upload lang sa mga unified syllabi. Kasi upload. And then take note lang sa mga faculty handling those subjects and ila corrections or suggestions to be embedded later sa next revision of the syllabus.
True. That's why we can have the remarks.
Yeah, but sir, I understand that the core committees are the ones who crafted the unified syllabi are also the ones handling the
Yes.
So,
yes.
In the workshop, in the breakout sessions, I think the corrections can be done during the breakout sessions and then towards the crafting of the course facts na lang.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
So,
channel distribution of unified syllabi to the campus dean of instruction.
Ano na lang siguro ang akong original suggestion mo ay ibalik katong sa cluster head.
Yes, sir.
Ang cluster head na lang yun kay ini-grouping na to tomorrow, cluster man ta. Ano na lang, no? Sige, I'll have the presentation if I may given the time. Ako na ba? Dili pa?
No, sir. I mean, okay, supposedly 4 to 4:15 is open forum. Then
Sorry.
4 to 4:15
Can I have the presentation?
Workshop mechanics for breakout
Yeah, for the workshop mechanics. In
Yeah.
relation to that.
Yes, sir.
Screen share ko.
Okay.
Pwede na ka ma-share screen, sir.
Okay. Tomorrow is our, let me see the date. A moment. Katong schedule karon. Karong adlaw usa. Katong last ubos. Okay, kana. August 18 to 25 is the breakout sessions. So this is assignments by cluster. The cluster chair as coordinators or facilitators. Therefore, mas maayo nga ato nang i-share. By the way, kani nga cluster chairpersons are the ones submitting the syllabus. Correct? So mobalik og share nga to nila, if I may ask. Or nananadaan. Nananadaan sa cluster chair.
Yes, sir.
Namoy akong basahon karon later on okay sa cluster chair. So si cluster chair na ang mo take charge kay katong gi-submit ni cluster chair na syllabus, siya maoy mo take charge sa grupo para mabuhat nila ang material. Correct? But along the way, simultaneously, mag-memo jug ko kay not all faculty members man handling the subject will be in the cluster. We have only very few members of the cluster. Now, that's why ningon ko sa akong communication nga mag-pre-reg ta, and then I forwarded to Odilo the list of the cluster, and then ni forwarded po ko ngadto sa mga syllabus nga kanang checklist of syllabi that has already, I mean, a checklist that will tell us that this particular cluster submitted the syllabus or has not submitted the syllabus. So karon, niingon sa ko sa akong communication sa memorandum na si campus director in coordination with the dean of instruction, the campus dean of instruction will assign faculty representation per cluster insofar as the course offerings or program offerings are concerned. So I hope that has been performed by our deans of instruction. Okay, because we will have the grouping later. Okay, so that's the breakout session from 18 to 25. But prior to my presentation for 26, 27, 28, 29, I would like to ask Odilo what assistance they can give for tomorrow's breakout session. Now, if I may suggest, pwede usa before ta mo kuan, naaman ninyo ang screen sa katong memorandum bitaw. Pwede sa memorandum. Ako sang stop ang sharing, then we will go back to the memorandum. Pwede, sir? Sir Cloyd?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kamasura ba to na? Maraglaan niya ang
Yes.
memo.
Unsa nga memorandum sir katong
Memorandum aning activity.
yes sir. Pwede na ko
Yeah,
ma-share.
please.
Kaya ta. Katong webinar for
Yeah. So while waiting for that, na akong pangutana kay ug ako magmong i-cluster gyud by course by program, daghan kay nga groups. So ang ako lang, if naatay maka-tutor bitaw nato kay di ba maumtay suggestion ni Dr. Haka nga mag-tutor ta with our champion. So ang atong champion din si Sir Binoliraw pa og si Sir Pangandoyon og si Sir Johannes who can help us with Odilo group for tomorrow if it's okay with you. Sige.
Ako i-share sir.
Yeah, please.
Makita na?
Memo.
This one,
Yes,
this one.
yes. Let's go to the grouping. Kanang grouping, okay?
Ako lang live yun.
Yeah. Sa ingon ko nga ang usa ka grupo will be education. So tanan nga education na ano kita nato no, BE-Ed, ang cluster chair ani, ang cluster chair ani si Dr. Pinotti o si Dr. Carion. Okay? And then the members are here. The members are here, but I understand the faculty members who are attending right now, but their names are not in there. That means it has to be updated through our Dean of Instruction. Kinsa iyang ibutang from the campus, nga wa diha nga campus, for example, ang naa din na si ang naa din na si Argao, Daan Bantayan, Mualbual, Carmen, Camotes, Tuburan. So napo man ta ka campuses. So hay mang lima, butangan dyan lima. So ang mga campus deans of instruction nga nakakita din nga wa diha ilang campus punan gina diha in close coordination with Dr. Pinotti and Dr. Maricho Carion. So that's my request. Then let's go to the next. BE-Ed. After BE-Ed, proceed. We have BS-Ed. BE-Ed. We have BSED, the same thing, no? Tanawa ninyo ang campus nga wa din ha. So the campus dean of instruction and the campus director in charge will have to really kana na ang coordinate with Dr. Mary Rose Almasin and Dr. Roslyn Gonzalez. No? Unya, in case dili siya active, I also would request the chairman and the co-chairman to coordinate na lang pod, call the campus director aron lang kita magtinabangay nga makahimo ta call si Ma'am Gonzales will call the campus director of the campus that is not found there para makapadala for tomorrow. No, namo na tong organization tomorrow. The same is true with BSNED, BSED, BTLED. Continue. Continue, sir. For education. Next page. BTVTED and professional education common courses. Ato pa, ang usa ka grupo will be composed of group 1. And that group 1 is education group. Okay na siya? Sa ato pa, na usa mo assist ni Ani tomorrow. Okay. Next group is arts and sciences. Okay. So, mauna na diha, the same instruction, ang arts and sciences, the same instructions rather, and then we have the chair, Dr. Camelio, and the co-chair, I cannot read. Okay, the co-chair is Dr. Alma Valendes for BA Language. For BA Literature, we have the co-chair, Dr. Gascon, for literature, and then DevCom, we have the co-chair, Professor Maida Cabingue. For BA Filipino, Dr. Favorona. Psychology, Ms. Mizzy Melendez, and the overall chair is Dr. Lynette Mataya S. Camelio. So mauna siya ang atong buhaton for the group, and that is Arts and Sciences group 2.
Yeah.
Next, for group number 3, by the way, napaday sa group 2, BS Math, with Professor Julius Silly and B Statistics, Professor Silly, Gen Ed, GEC, GEE, we have Dr. Christian Rayleigh Sen. And I would like to request NSTP and PE to be together with Arts and Sciences. Mamun Santo and Dr. Concepcion. Okay, so that's group 2. Let's go to group 3. Okay. We have engineering as the group 3. We have CE group, Dr. Rosemary Almasin with Dr. Edgar Ambos, BSME, Dr. Edgar Ambos with Engineer Louis Lariosa. Electrical engineering, we have Dr. Ambos and Engineer Wailin Milcidic Narvios. ECE, we have Dr. Ambos and Dr. Romeo Lipitin. IE, we have Dr. Pedrito Pontillas and Engineer Al Emmanuel Caballes. Computer engineering, we have Dr. Mary Rose Almasin and Dr. Ambos. So that's group engineering group number 3. MARE, we still have MARE. We have Dr. Hector Abdon and Engineer Dion Baring. And for BS Agriculture and Biosystems Engineering, Dr. Adeline P. De La Cruz and Engineer Jeremy Mondihar. Now, you might be asking, the sole campus like marine engineering is only one campus, but still you have to participate in the grouping so you would know, and you have to submit the same material to the group of engineering. There will be another person from the champion and from the Odilo to please help assist, no? Assist rather our group. Let's go to group number 4, please. Next page. Okay, next group is technology. And then we have the 14 different majors in technology, civil tech, Dr. Nolasco Malabago with Dr. Dennis Capuyan, Autotech, Dr. Malabago and Dr. Paterno Fernandez, BIT Electronics, Dr. Juanita Pinotti and Dr. Harvey Pangandoyon, Electrical, Dr. LD Abinido and Professor Rex Colpable, RAC, we have Dr. Malabago and Professor Cesario Gomez. Continue. Garments, we have Dr. Malabago and Dr. Esther Medalla. Computer, we have Dr. Garcia and Dr. Joy Alit. WAF, Dr. Malabago, Dr. Nap Flores. And then foods, we have Dr. Malabago and Dr. Maria Gypsy Bohol. Then other BIT, Interior Design Technology, Dr. Malabago and Dr. Bernie Oy. Drafting, Dr. Malabago and Dr. Mary Rose Almacin. Machine Shop, Dr. Malabago and Dr. Pedrito Puntillas. FCM, Dr. Malabago and Dr. Reggie Arcadio. Power plant, we have Dr. Malabago and Dr. Ernesto Vinci. Another four, we still have more for BSGD. We have Dr. Malabago and Professor Julius Andro Sagrado. BSMX, we have Dr. Malabago and Professor Lilani Cordero. BSTech M, we have Dr. Malabago and Professor Jobert Monasilio. Professional courses in technology, Professor Jobert Monasilio and Dr. Maria Gypsy Buhol. And the professional electives, Dr. Maria Gypsy Buhol and Professor Arnolfo Nilo. And then we will include CICT in this group. Sorry, CCICT. CCICT in this group. We have the chairman, Dr. Jose Maria Garcia III, Professor Noreen Fuentes. What else? For BSIT, BSIS, Dr. Jose Maria Garcia III, and Professor Pet Andrew Nakwa. So that's already, there are already many for group 3, group 4. Okay, let's go to number 5. We have management and entrepreneurship. And then we have Dr. Amelia Gurley Aranas and Dr. Lolita Velita for BSBA. BPA, Dr. Aranas with Dr. Leo Vigilda Bitay. HM, Dr. Aranas with Dr. Hubert Quinones. TM, we have Dr. Aranas and Professor Catherine Yamagishi. Together with this group, we have next. We will join management and entrepreneurship with, what's next? Agriculture. Just to have the general session. So that's group number 5. So agriculture, BSA, Dr. Adeline P. De La Cruz with Dr. Maria Lima Pascual. Agribusiness, we have Dr. De La Cruz and Dr. Hines Pasaje. VetMed, we have Dr. De La Cruz with Dr. Ruby Distajo. Then forestry, we have Dr. Pinotti and Dr. Steven Alcazar. Fisheries, Dr. Hector Abdon and Dr. Helian Lamayo. So this will be agriculture, forestry, and fishery group. So that will be group number 5. So again, if I may reiterate, education is group 1, arts and sciences is group 2, engineering is group 3, technology, CCICT is group 4, management, entrepreneurship, agriculture, forestry, fishery is group number 5 for the purpose of the meeting tomorrow. So I understand that Odilo will have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday separate training. No? So tomorrow, if I may request Odilo, Sir Kamasura, Sir Binolirao as the champion or whoever will you be assigning, somebody has to be with education group, somebody has to be with arts and sciences group, with engineering group, technology CICT group, and then the last is management, entrepreneurship, agriculture, forestry, and fishery group. Is it possible? I'm asking Odilo, is it possible to have simultaneous Zoom meeting for deliberation muna? Akong point ani, ang mahitabo ani ugma ba, maybe in the morning, murag mag-tutorial sa mo ba, para na ay idea. And then in the afternoon, mag-break out na sila by subclusters. Kung mahimo, until the end, nga, ang expected nato nga makabuhat gyud sila og presentation by 26, 27, 28, and 29. So, sir, is it possible, Sir Troy?
Yes, from our side, sir, is it possible naman, sir? May I ask, sir, for each breakout session, tentatively how many participant or attendees per group, sir?
Mauna akong pangutana ron ugma, ano ba nato ugma kanang maot bitaw to nagpa-pre-reg ko. So ang ako rin participation gyud ni sa mga campus directors og mga deans of instruction. So unsa man kinsay dean of instruction nga naa, pwede ta magpa-attendance sa dean of instruction, bisag dean of instruction lang. Can I call Argao who is representing Argao DOI?
Dr. Montañez.
Sir Montañez, naa si ma'am? Ma'am Camelio, can I request you to inform her for this? Okay.
Yeah,
Sir Edwin.
Ma'am.
Sir Edwin.
Yes,
asa
ma'am.
mo mabutang ang natural or physical sciences nga group?
Adto gina sa arts and sciences, ma'am.
Adto mi dito.
Kay physical, natural sciences, arts, magyud na. Mabilong man na siya.
Okay, wala man siya sa category, sir. GEC, GE niya, inis TPPE. So, adto may dito sa arts and sciences.
Unsa man tong imong giingon nga natural sciences, ma'am?
Ato bang sa chemistry for engineers, sir? Nya naman sa mga na physical sciences sa kuan, sa CAS, wala man siya makategory. GE. Built-in na lang siya, sir. Unsa man
Adto siya dito. Adto siya kay ato man nga kuan pa.
Siya, ma'am.
Basic pa man na siya. Okay? Okay ra? So, Dr. Montañez, ma'am, Miss Camelio, please, no? What about Barili? Is the Dean of Instruction in Barili around? Please acknowledge. So, care of Dr. Camelio for Argao. Anybody? Who is the Dean of Instruction for Barili? Arlene Salak ba? Dr. Arlene Salak? Dr. Pineda?
Sir?
Yung sa itong Dean of Instruction sa
Barili? Ko answer si Dr. Sabiuna, man siguro, sir, Doris?
Dr. Sabiuna.
Okay. Dili ko sure, sir, pero murag siya. Why taga Barili diha?
Dili si Salak. Anybody from Barili? I would like to know.
Dr. Salak.
Dr. Salak, sir.
Okay, Dr. Salak. Wala di as Dr. Salak di ay. Okay, next we have Carmen.
Marboal.
Carmen. Mailhan jud no ay representation no. By the way, sa Barili, waman si Dr. Salak, I would like the Dr. Pineda to inform. Kanang na-care off sa ato pa absent na Carmen. Absent. Who will inform here? Na si Danao? Anin lang para official, Dr. Pineda gihapon, please. CCMSC. Wa po'y CCMSC? Dr. Pineda, you have to make a memorandum for this. Aron ni sila mga pitol. Ilaning trabaho. They are not to be here. They are not to be given that position if they cannot endure the activity.
Sir, naako no ang Carmen.
Ng anong waman mo tingog?
Di mati katingog, sir, kay giwa man nila gikuan, sir, gi enable ang kuan, sir.
Sige, okay,
ang audio.
Excuse.
Oh,
Excuse.
enable ang audio para magtubag
Sorry. Sorry.
Good. Check attendance.
Sige. Atong
Sir,
Osborne.
enable in tawag ko, sir, dili ba high blood?
High blood na ko.
Mama, ikaw may mo unmute, ma'am. I-unmute sila. Kailangan ka. I-unmute. Pwede man nimo i-unmute ato ka sa participants. I-click ko nimong participants. Then makita nimo ilang name dito.
Yan na lang. We will, excuse me, si Ma'am Heidi mo give sa name para i-unmute niya, Sir Binoliraw.
Pwede na po siya, sir, kay Kuan man. Panelist naman siya.
Si Ma'am Heidi. Daghan na kay trabaho si Ma'am Heidi.
Tabang sa Sir Goku eh. Tabang itaon diha.
Balik ko. Sa
name, ma'am.
Si Dr. Montañez na
I-raise na laghans. Ay, sir, pwede i-raise na laghans para ma-unmute na ko, sir, kay...
sige, raise your hand. Campus Dean of Instruction or Campus Director around, please raise your hand para ma-mute mo tanan aron inigbasa na ako na ay representative. Ako ni ilista.
Sir, si Dr. Montañez naminaw. Dr. Montañez is listening. They're having a meeting right now.
Okay, thank you for that information. Sorry kay high blood ko. Kay nasayod
high blood, sir. Kay naminaw gyud mi nimo.
Thank you very much for your cooperation, ma'am. Sige, ako ni ilista Argao, Barili, Carmen, CCMSC, Danao, Dan Bantayan.
Salak is present. I-unmute na lang tanan oy. Nanan si nagtitig na
Using the same message, sir.
San Francisco. A moment.
Enable na lang ng audio, Sir Guko, para mahuman ta.
Yes, lagi. Enable na. Wala man nila.
Okay. So now I will have the roll call.
Balik, sir. Tawag, sir. Balik, sir.
Roll call. Now, Argao already recognized. Argao, okay ng Argao. Mitingog na si Campus. Mitingog na si Campus Director. Ako sa itabi, Ibe? Pwede? Ako sa itabi.
Naka-meeting sila.
Naglumba ng tabi.
Sir.
Lagi ba sa i-unmute? Please, ano man good ethics? Manggod ni ethics.
Nangita si Dr. Pilapil.
Okay. Argao is already responding. And then Barili.
Present.
Okay.
Present.
Wapa kaayo eh. Okay, next. Carmen. Na, I saw Dr. I saw Dr. Hector Abdon here. Sir Abdon.
Nako.
Okay. CCMSC. Marvin Aventuna.
Present, sir.
Very good. Next, Danao. Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Kay mutingog kung mura siya kay mutabi biya naron siyang taud-taud. Sige,
sir. Mao jud, mao sir.
Daan Bantayan. I saw Felix Berto.
Present, sir. Present.
Sir. Okay, thank you. For Moalboal, number 7.
Present, sir.
Very good.
Present.
Next, San Francisco. San Francisco. Ma'am Lourdes is here. Thank you. Number 9, Tuburan. Ma'am Tuburan. Ma'am Carla. Sir Puntillas, Ma'am Carla, and who? Ma'am Carla ba ang Dean of Instruction?
Yes, sir.
Who is the Dean of Instruction? This is now the work of Dr. Pineda. Please contact as the University Dean of Instruction.
Present, sir, pero unstable ilang connection.
Sige. Okay, sige. Na-sound please si Dr. Flores Marchidis. I-sound ko no. Present po. Tuburan present. But is Dr. Yeah. Okay. So please inform Dr. Flores, and Dr. Sarukam ba to? Sarukam. For the main campus, Dr. Villarin. Okay. Dr. Carla is here now. Thank you. Dr. Villarin?
Yes, present, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So, lami ra kaayo na tanan nawa ang sapot ni Pilapil.
Sir, nagyan si Juan Buko kay wala enable.
Wala mo, yun gahanday-handay.
Ganihara mi sir, walang di makatingog.
Salamat. Sorry kayo sa kanang mga mood swings ba. Sorry, mas mahal sa layunan para maningog jud mo tanan.
Morning pa mi, sir.
Okay, thank you for the support. Sige. So, okay na taani no ugma again. Katagan communicate mo karon sa inyong MIS. Correct me Sir Kamasura and Sir Binuliraw. Communicate to your MIS kung kinsa inyong assignan. I would like to reiterate there in the memorandum, kinsa inyong assign nga ibutang sa education different clusters. arts and sciences, different clusters, engineering, different clusters, technology and CCICT, different clusters, management, entrepreneurship, agribusiness, agriculture, forestry, fishery, different clusters. Para ang atong tanang course offerings in our campus are well represented tomorrow. Okay, so that si Sir Lloyd makagrouping na siya prior to our 18 o'clock opening tomorrow, dapat karong hapon mo forward na mo sa MIS para si MIS mo forward na sa DICT. Sakto ko, Sir Kamasura? Sir Joe Cams? Or Sir Binolirao?
Say forward, sir, ang groupings?
Yes. Dili, Bert. Ang lista na sa Bert per grouping.
Okay.
So, kinahanglan, MIS, ako na sa MIS may nai-control sa mga katong email ba. Basin ang mo login na wala pa sila ka-connect sa ilang email, na may nana ba, ipa-verify daan.
Maumanto ang atong purpose na naa sila email kuan para madali. So again, si campus the campus deans of instruction will be guided by the groupings and subgroupings in the memorandum, no? So okay na ang tanang mga deans of instruction. So para get ma-represented and do it in the karon within today so that si Sir Cloyd tomorrow inig alas 8 dili na magkabuang sa grouping. Can we have the general grouping muna, general murag webinar like this tomorrow mga 8 o'clock to 8:30 para lang ma-facilitated? Then we'll have the real split session later on. Pwede? Sir Cloyd, the same thing like this ba? Nga tomorrow, mag-abot ta the same dire, the same room, mag-abot sa sa the same room, then after that, atong tanaw ng grouping, then we will have the split sessions.
Sige, sir. Actually, sir, there is a Zoom webinar, sir. I can do regrouping, sir. We can split to this room automatically.
So,
Pila, sir? Pila, sir? 3?
We can regroup, sir. I think I can regroup this one kasi 1,000 naman ang capacity ng webinar. I can regroup, sir, up to 5 and then just want to ask, sir, kung how many members each group.
Every group.
Every group.
Pero ang point manggod sir by discipline manggod ni sir basig ang inig regroup nato kita ra mag-grouping ba basin o dili na siya mao. Okay, ang ato ron minimum na to grouping mag-guided mo sir. Ang usa ka grupo naman sa memo education. So usa na sila ka grupo tanang naa dihangan sa education group 1 na. Tanang sa arts and sciences sa group 2. Tanangan sa engineering na group 3, technology CCICT group 4, management, entrepreneurship, agriculture, forestry, fishery group 5. Ang ato na lang ko ang katong additional nga wa diha. Na may mga additional faculty nga naa karon dire nga wala ma-appeal sa grouping kay wala man sila na involved sa syllabus making. Ang ilarong involvement is the actual translation of the syllabi to the learning or course packages. Did I make it clear? Claro?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So siguro ugma na lang yung tayo grouping kay ila mang i-submit karon. So initial grouping na lang siguro ta sir kay na naman mo i-data diya sa memo pero puna na siya in the later part of the afternoon or maybe in the evening upon submission of the information coming from the different MIS. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Okay lang. So, sir,
okay, ako lang ang mahimo.
Yes, sir. Sir Edwin, for the groupings, we're gonna use our Google Meet. Our Google Meet can accommodate 250 participants at the same time. And then unlimited per group. Yes, sir. I can.
Dili maabot sir, daghan na kay ng 250, sir. Daghan na kay ng 250 per group. So, lesser than that. Expect lesser than that.
Kani bang grouping nga ba?
Sige. So, can I proceed? Can I proceed? Now, that is tomorrow, no? So, atong i-maximize ang oras sa Udilo group and our CTU champions. Sir, napatay lang CTU champion aside from Sir Kamasura, Sir Engelbert, and maybe Sir Pangandoyon. Kinsa pa inyong mahatag na champion?
Dr. Tomol, sir. Ma'am Joy.
If they are willing to extend help, ipuno to.
I-distribute palihog, Miss Camelio, please help me for this. Aron mo ato na sila
Presenter
sa
na,
grouping.
teacher, moderator pa.
Dili kay naka-present naman sila, so ato na lang gid silang patabangon, mag-coaching na ta. Mag-coaching na ta. No? Okay. So we will make use of
Ako sir, I will volunteer on the CICT part and kinsa to kauban technology.
technology. We will be
ko.
with butang nako ha. Technology,
Sige, sir.
CICT, Professor Kamasura. Sige.
Okay, sir. Noted.
Sa education,
Pwede na ko sir, education o engineering.
ato kas engineering, sir.
Tomol, sir. Tomol sa CAS. GE.
A moment. Sa engineering, si Dr. Binolirao.
Yes, sir.
Si education, si
Tumol.
Sir Quintanar. Quintanar ba to?
Kasi si Kuan, si Tumol.
Tomol, sir. CAS.
No. I'm talking about education. Fitz Quintanar.
Sir Fitz.
Okay. Arts and sciences, Tumol.
Tomol, yes, sir.
Okay. Then, tempa. Management, entrepreneurship, agriculture, forestry, fishery. Kinsay mo angkon from Odilo. Is it Sir Francis or Sir Cloyd? Pero gusto ko na ay
Sige lang sir, kay sa amo ang side, I can ask our key account manager from Trio Boss sir can help tomorrow sir,
Sige, pero I need champion from CTU for this.
Sir Cloyd, di ba naka-additional nga na-hire for
Yes sir, I can ask her tomorrow sir to join.
Pwede si Dr. Haka ugma. Asas Dr. Haka na apa? Hello? Ma'am Heidi, paliw ko no ko contact Dr. Haka.
Yes, sir. Asa si Dr. Haka, sir? Assign, sir?
Dr. Haka will be in management, entrepreneurship, agriculture, forestry, and fishery.
Okay, sir.
So, pwede na to mapun lang usa unya na lang ng mga akong tatong i-distribute ang English teachers, pero unya na lang kay naapod sila ilang buhaton sa arts and sciences. Because ato nang buhat niya tag committee, magbuhat niya taog kanang grupo pod, small group nga mutabang sa curriculum sa Dr. Haka kay ang pag-craft ba sa kana bitang kanang observable, smart, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound ILOs. I would like to get the expertise of all, as much as possible, all English teachers to help later on once we review all the syllabi. Okay? Sige, later na lang na. Forward-looking lang ko. So balik, aron di ta malawgaw, no? Sige, si education will be with Sir Fitz Quintanar. Pero kung si Sir Fitz kinahanglan pa og mga kanabitong technicality, anytime makontak na nato si Sir Cloyd and Sir Francis. So sila ang magtanaw nato oversee. And then sa arts and sciences, we have Dr. Tumol. And then for engineering, we have Dr. Binolirao. For technology and CCICT, we have Professor Kamasura. Then Dr. Haka will be for management, entrepreneurship, agriculture, forestry, and fishery. So sila si Odilo nga grupo will oversee all the other 5 groups. Okay na siya. And that's only good for tomorrow. Because by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, silang mga Odilo and the champions will also be meeting other groups of trainees.
Sir Joe comes, si Sir Harvey, sir, wala ma-assign.
Sir Joe comes na si Sir Joe comes.
Si Harvey, wala, sir.
Asa man ako ibutang si Sir Harvey?
Ando yun, yes.
Sa technology or sa
akong parisan si Dr. Haka kay aron na technology. May man si Sir Fitz na naman si technology. Si Ma'am Tumol na naman nakita naman nato si engineering na napos Dr. Binolirao, si po si Sir Kamasura. Akong ibutang, although I'm not underestimating Dr. Haka's skill in technology, pero mas maipod niya na agad si Sir Pangandoyon.
Assist lang sir sa technical side, sir.
Sige. So, ako lang palisan si Dr. Haka and Sir with Sir Harvey Pangandoyon for group number 5. Okay? Okay na ta? Settled na ta diha dapita? So, I repeat, sa tomorrow, mag-abot ta diri at 8 o'clock. Time is of the essence. I started on time. Okay. And then after that mag breakout maybe an hour after ug settled na nato tanan ng groups. So I hope that Odilo can project na tomorrow the group 1 name, group 2 name, so group 3 and so on and so forth. And then again the small groups will really make use of the time of our tutors in the following day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and also next week, Monday and Tuesday ba? Monday and Tuesday in individual subgroups na, because you're expected to do na all, if not all, some kana na ang learning packages or course packages that we are going to present on the 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. So I will show to you the presenters for 26, 27, 28, 29. Please excuse me for a while kay pangitaon ako kung operator.
But unsa man ako no?
Sir Jucams at Sir Bert.
Yes, Sir Cloyd.
Ano sir ba, yung sa breakout session, isend lang sa kuha sir katong mga person nga createan og rooms para sa ilang breakout sessions, at least mabuhat na ko.
Isa may maka-provide mo na sir.
Kana sir ba, email ad lang nila sir para
Sir
ma-create. Sige sir.
Sir Jocam.
Sir Joe Cams, akong i-forward alas 5, hapit na ba 5? Moment ha. Sir Joe Cams.
Account Sir Joe Cams.
Akong i-forward nimo aron ma-share paliho kay gibiyaan jud ko sa kong buotan nga koan.
Wala sir.
Ay. Di isa na ko. Para sa FLS. LMS. Compose sa ko kay nangasaba pa ko diri gisapot ko aning ibiyaan ko. Anyway, pwede ugma na lang. Well, because it's already 5 o'clock.
Sir, puso kang uwan, sir.
Naabot na. Sorry kaayo nga to keep you waiting. Next we kani sa Wednesday presentation, our officer of the day is Dr. Christian Relisin for Wednesday. So at 30 minutes lang akong gihatag. At 8 o'clock, we will start with the preliminaries. We'll have to discuss it, Ma'am Heidi, what to do with the preliminaries. Pero at 8:30, there will be presentation coming from the group of Dr. Pinotti and Dr. Marichu for BE-Ed. One major course, one sample course pack. Magpili siya sa BE-Ed o unsa nga major course, and then one sample course pack. But it doesn't mean kung mahimo kana na ang mabuhat ng tanan no pila na ka major course. Pero ang presentation lang usa lang. Pero it's the responsibility of Dr. Juanita Pinotti and Dr. Maricho Carion to have a complete course packages for all major courses in BEd. Okay? And then BSEd only for first sem raman pud ni. So dili tanan gyud kung panalitan 14 na kabuok major courses, only those in the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, upat ra gyud ni siya kay first sem man kung pananglit usa lang ka major course in the first sem. So at 9 to 9:30 BSEd, and that will be by presented or maybe delegated by Dr. Mary Rose Almasin and Dr. Roslyn Gonzalez for BSEd. 9:30 to 10, BSNED, Dr. Teresita Rojas and Dr. Nina Rosan de los Reyes, and together with maybe some of the teachers nga ilang i-present o what man kay lain mo present, maybe of course they will be doing it, no? So again, ang kanang mga coordinators lang kung ibutang, but it doesn't mean they are the ones who are going to do it. If they have other faculty to do it, okay lang gihapon. So 10 to 10:30, be said again, Dr. Rojas and Dr. Rivalde. Then 10:30 to 11, we have BT led by Dr. Raylan Capuno and Dr. Michelle Aruz. Then 11 to 12, open forum. And then 12 to 1, lunch break. 1 to 1:30, BTV TED by Dr. Raylan Capuno and Dr. Raymond Espina. Then 1:30 to 2, that is Prof. Ed, common courses. We have Dr. Pedrito Puntillas and Dr. Zarmeles Briones. Then at 2 o'clock to 2:30, the group of management and entrepreneurship, BSBA, Dr. Aranas and Dr. Vilita. Then 2:30 to 3, we have BPA, Dr. Aranas and Dr. Bitay. 3 to 3:30, Dr. Aranas and Dr. Quinones. Then 3:30 to 4, Dr. Aranas and Professor Yamagishi. Now, these are the coordinators, chair and chairpersons, but it doesn't mean, you might be asking, uy, pulos lagi na main campus, diha ron sa entrepreneurship. Dr. Aranas, if you can request other campus representatives to also do the presentation, it would be better so that we have different collaborators to be doing the presentation. So we will not have, and also other groupings is as much as possible. So on 27th, Thursday, our officer of the day is Dr. Maria Gypsy Buhol. She knows this already. I told her before I wrote her name. I asked my friend to do this, and she willingly said yes. From 8 to 8:30, the preliminaries will be done by Dr. Christian Haka. And then technology, we have BIT, Civil Tech, Dr. Malabago, Dr. Kapuyan. 9 to 9:30, BIT Automotive, Dr. Malabago and Dr. Fernandez. 9:30 to 10, Dr. Pinotti, Dr. Harvey Pangandoyan for electronics. 10 to 10:30, we have electrical, Dr. LD Abinido and Professor Colpable. And then we have 10:30 to 11, RAC, Dr. Malabago and Professor Gomez. 11 to 11:30, we have BIT Garments, Dr. Malabago and Dr. Medalia. Then 10:30 to 11:30 to 12, BIT Computer Tech, Dr. Jose Maria Garcia, the third, and Dr. Mary Joy Adit. Then 12 to 1, lunch break. Notice wala na tay kanang open forum sa buntag kay taas daghan magod kayo offering ang technology, so ari na sa hapon 1 to 1:30 WAF Dr. Malabago and Dr. Flores. 1:30 to 2, we have food prep and services tech, Dr. Malabago and Dr. Buhol. 2 to 2:30, we have Dr. Malabago and Dr. Uy for IDT, okay, interior design technology. And then 2:30 to 3, we have drafting, Dr. Malabago and Dr. Mary Rose Almasin. Then 3 to 3:30, BIT Machine Shop, Dr. Malabago and Dr. Puntillas. Then 3:30 to 4, we have FCM, Dr. Malabago and Dr. Reggie Arcadio. 4 to 4:30 power plant, Dr. Malabago and Dr. Vinci. That's it. And then 4:30 to 5 is open forum. Okay. Then Friday, 28th, presentation of outputs, and then we have Engineer Donna Marie Rivero as the officer of the day, and then 8 to 8:30, Dr. Charisma Lumayag for the preliminaries, 8:30 to 9, GD, Dr. Malabago and Professor Julius, wrong spelling si Julius, Andrew Sagrado, then 9 to 9:30, MX, Dr. Malabago and Professor Cordero, 9:30 to 10, Tech M, Dr. Malabago and Professor Monasilio, CCICT, 10 to 10:30, BSIT, Dr. Jose Maria Garcia III with Professor Noreen Fuentes, 10:30 to 11, BSIS, Dr. Jose Maria Garcia the third, and Professor Pet Andrew Nakwa. Now, arts and sciences, we have 11 to 11:30 BE language. We have also English applied linguistics. Dr. Lynette Matia Escamelio with Dr. Alma Melendez. 11:30 to 12 BE literature, Dr. Camelio and Dr. Gascon, Doris, and then 12 to 1 lunch break. 1 to 1:30 DevCom, Dr. Camelio and Professor Kabingi Maida. 1:30 to 2, BA Filipino, Dr. Camelio and Dr. Fe Barona. Then 2 to 2:30, BA Psychology, we have Dr. Camelio and Miss Mizzy Melendez. 2:30 to 3, BS Math, Dr. Camelio and Mr. Julio Celi. 3 to 3:30, Dr. Camelio for Stat and Mr. Julius Cili. 3:30 to 4, GEC, GEE, anyone preferred course. Depending on ninyo, Dr. Camelio and Dr. Christian Ray Sin. Then 4 to 4:30, NSTP, any preferred module, Engineer Asuncion Monsanto. 4:30 to 5, PE, any preferred course, that is Dr. Jorilyn Concepcion. And 5 to 5:30, ngayon lang kong 30 minutes for the open forum. Kay murag ni Silo ta. And then Saturday, the presentation of the output